From pretty much the present, this is your host, Adam Graham, bringing you a week of old-time radio detective podcasts from 2012. Because these podcasts are many years old, any offers or information included in the podcast may not be valid unless they're currently reflected on our Great Detectives of Old Time Radio website at greatdetectives.net. Here now is a week of old-time radio detective podcast. Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, box13@greatdetectives.net. Give us a call, 208-991-4783, and become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. Well, our listener support campaign continues, and I want to thank so much for his kind gift, Brian Ashby, who was given to the show before. Thank you so much, Brian, for your support. And during our listener support campaign, we send along to everyone who gives to the show at $7 or more access to our premium site. In addition to that, those who give $20 or more get a free copy of my ebook, All I Needed to Know, I Learned from Columbo, and an additional gift. A full list of gift options is support.greatdetectives.net. At the $20 level, we have a wide variety of mystery and adventure programs from Colonial Radio Theater. Among those is Perry Mason. Now, this isn't the Raymond Burr Perry Mason from the 1950s. I like that, but this kind of follows more closely with the original novels from the 1930s, which has a different feel to it. At the $50 level, if you're in the United States or Canada, you can receive an autographed copy of my 2010 novel, Tales of the Dim Night. And at the $100 level, we offer you The History of Harry Niles Set 1, with that Seattle private detective Harry Niles in some of his earliest radio adventures, set in the 1930s and 40s up to the first part of World War II, but produced mostly in the 1970s. It's a great set, and that's available for those who have $100 or more. We have other options, but I want to get into today's show, so you can view them all at support.greatdetectives.net, as well as all the options you have for donating to the program. Also, be sure and listen, and we're going to talk about what the show's going to be like on Monday's next season. But here now is the adventures of Frank Race and the Enoch Arden adventure.
Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins. The war changed many things, the face of the earth and the people on it. Before the war, Frank Race worked as an attorney, but he traded his law books for the cloak and dagger of the OSS. When it was over, his former life was over, too. Adventure had become his business. The Adventures of Frank Race. And now we join Frank Race for the Enoch Arden adventure.
It was one of those places that features music, not only for atmosphere, but also to drown out the cries of the patrons when they get their checks. Mine was a mellow mood, I expected to be joined at any moment by a creature both feminine and alluring. So I was settling myself for a gentle and interesting evening when...
But I cannot admit you, monsieur. Hey, Ray, tell these guys you know me, will you?
Don't make a scene, Henri. Let the gentleman in.
There, you see, wise guy. Wise guy.
Well, what's the pitch, Mark?
I got a dame in a cab. She wants to see you.
Why didn't she come in? She's supposed to meet me here.
Huh? You expecting a dame?
Well, you don't think I'd go white tie and to dine alone, do you?
I got me a feeling the dame in my cab ain't the one you're expecting.
Blonde, statuesque, rather beautiful.
Redhead, stacked, completely a pip.
That good?
Mm-mm.
All right, you've sold me. Henri.
You wish something, Monsieur Race?
There'll be a lady seeking me. I've been taken suddenly ill.
Ill?
You'll make it convincing.
Oh, but of course, Monsieur Race. You are dying.
To steal a phrase from Mark, the lady in the cab was a pip. I had a look at her while lighting a cigarette. I held the match until it almost burned my fingers. Then I sat back to await developments.
I'm Hilary Stewart. I have a personal problem that I think you could help me with, Race. A matter of insurance. The policy's for $500,000.
Something tells me the insurance is on your husband's life.
Yes.
And at the moment he's alive?
I don't know. You see, Race, I'm 26 years old. I was married 8 years ago. Almost 7 years ago, my husband disappeared.
Disappeared?
Just disappeared. Police had the case. There was a lot of publicity, and...
Oh, yes, I remember. Martin Stewart, senior partner in the importing firm of Stewart Ronick, wasn't he?
That's right. And in this state, when a person's been missing for 7 years,
he may be declared legally dead under the Enoch Arden law, which would make that little insurance policy of yours payable.
You cover ground quickly, Mr. Ray.
$500,000, I'm afraid I can't see where you'd have any problems.
Do you think the insurance company will be inclined to pay all that money without investigation?
No. I think they'll investigate all over the place. But if everything's above board...
Suppose they were to find that my husband had been murdered.
Well, it'd be important only if you murdered him. Did you?
That's what I mean. That's why I want you to look into the affair, for my protection. Will you take the case?
Have dinner with me. Coax me a little.
I'd like that, but I can't. Not tonight. Tomorrow, perhaps?
Let's drop the perhaps.
All right. And now if I could be transferred to another cab, I must go home.
Well, we'll take you home. Where to?
Sumter Terrace, 1450.
Sumter Terrace is an exclusive district. One of those streets where tall, thin trees line the curbs and short, fat women parade their dogs. There was a man standing before the entrance to number 1450 as I escorted Hilary Stewart up the steps. She spoke to him.
Hello, Gary. I'm sorry I'm late.
I've been waiting an hour.
I'm truly sorry. I'll go in and get ready right away. Thanks a lot, Mr. Race. If you'll call for me...
Tomorrow. I'll remember. I wanted to go into the building, then I turned toward Mark in the cab. But I didn't go toward them. Gary was there on the steps, blocking the way to the street.
Stay away from her, understand?
Now you're making me very sad. It's practically an engraved invitation to come back.
Yeah? And what's this?
His punch nailed me to the wall of the building. His outline danced in front of me as I fought to breathe, to stay upright. I was conscious of his grinning at me, an ugly grin. Then he pulled the door open and went inside.
Hey, what went on there? What goes on, Ray? You hurt?
Well, just embarrassed, Mark. Yeah, I'll be all right. A second.
I thought I saw him throw a snake punch at dirty low-down. No good. What'd he slug it?
Well, I digest my food.
I went inside. I'll go in and beat his brain.
No, not now, Mark. I can take care of myself. I have an idea we'll be seeing him again. The enforced soup diet that Gary had thrust upon me was wearing on my nerves for the next evening. My appetite was back in working order, and my spirits were high, but the housekeeper who answered the door at the residence of Hilary Stewart sent them into a nosedive.
I don't understand it, sir. She left no messages.
You have no idea where she can be reached, huh?
Well, she took a plane last night to Europe.
Europe? Last night?
Yes, sir. To Zurich, Switzerland. Perhaps you could write to her there at the Hotel Metropole.
Sorry. I don't suppose you have any idea of why she went there.
Well, Mr. Stewart, God rest him, used to have a branch of his company there. I think Mr. Romick, his partner, works from there now.
I take it you've been with Mrs. Stewart for some time?
Oh, yes, sir. I was Mr. Stewart's housekeeper for 10 years before he married her.
I understand he disappeared not long after the wedding.
Yes. Happened right here in this very room. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was listening to the radio. And then the news came over that Pearl Harbor had been bombed. Mr. Stewart, he didn't say a word. Got up and walked out of the house, and we never saw him or heard of him again.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. With Hillary Stewart running out on me, my first reaction was an impulse to flip the whole thing. I can do without women to play games, even glamorous redheads. But I thought of her playmate Gary and that sneak punch. Decided that I had to see that boy again. The way he'd acted made me certain I'd find him wherever I'd find Hillary. I played a hunch. I went into a phone booth and called several of the bigger life insurance companies. And I hit the jackpot when I spoke to Steve Watson, vice president in charge of claims at Columbia Life Plan.
Yes, Rice, we issued the policy on Stewart's life. Why?
Well, I just think the claim's a little fuzzy. I'd check some more before paying off.
Oh, I wish you'd have told me that a little bit sooner. Claim was paid off in full yesterday.
Yesterday?
That's right.
But she'd already collected when I met her.
Was that Rice?
Nothing, Steve.
Wait a minute. You got something on your mind. Spill it.
Hey, look, Steve, let me throw you a proposition. I think that claim's off base. Let me look into it. And if I come up with something, I'm working for you. And if I fail, I'm on my own.
That's the deal. Where can I reach you?
Make it care of American Express, Zurich, Switzerland. Switzerland, land of peace and comparative plenty, nestling in the heart of a war-torn and starving continent. Setting down on the runway of the Zurich airport was different from most European landings. There were no bomb-shattered buildings, no rubble-choked streets. Mark and I smudged the register at the Hotel Metropole. I found Hillary Stewart's name in the book, but she wasn't in, so I left Mark at the hotel and located the office of Stewart Romick.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. I'm looking for, ich bin...
An American. Well, don't struggle with the lingo, pal. Let's just talk United States.
Oh, gladly. I always have trouble with my umlauts.
So do I. Hey, where are you from?
New York.
No place like it. Hey, I used to play ball for the Dodgers. 2 years with them before Uncle Robbie traded me. Third base.
Yeah, the hot corn.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. What'd you say your name was?
Frank Race. And I'm looking for a young lady I think you may know. Hillary Stewart?
Why, sure I do. I was her husband's partner. I'm Pete Romick, and you're in luck. Hillary's in the other office. Came in a few minutes ago. Come on.
Hillary was sitting beside her desk, sipping hot chocolate. There was no flicker of surprise in her eyes when she saw me. We were still playing a game, and she was winning, because I could see that she had been expecting me. Behind the desk sat a dark-skinned man who might have been from the Mediterranean area. I had a feeling that at home he'd have been wearing a turban. He was introduced as Sutra Heyman, manager of the office.
You have just arrived in Switzerland, Mr. Rice?
A few hours ago.
Enjoy a pleasant voyage?
Enjoyed a fast flight.
You must have, Ray. Faster than I expected.
Ah, but you did expect. You know, we never quite finished that chat we started in New York. Our dinner dates might result in a case of malnutrition for me.
Forgive me, Race, and I'll make it up to you this very evening. There's a quaint place just on the outskirts of town, the Dorth. Let's meet there, say at 8.
Fine. 8 o'clock it is. The Dorth is the kind of place you dream about. It It had all the old world charm, along with candlelight and exquisite linen and fine old silver. The place did something extra for Hillary's eyes. And it was difficult not to forget that this lovely creature was a very dangerous companion.
Oh, I'm enjoying this enormously, Ray. It's the sort of place I'd enjoy spending every evening with someone like you, after I get the insurance money.
You must be suffering from amnesia, child. You've already received the money. You can put away that fetching stare, Ducky. Got my information from the insurance company.
All right, Ray. I guess I should have given you my confidence in the first place.
I'm listening.
I engaged you, Ray, because I'm afraid.
Of what?
Being murdered?
By whom? Gary? Romick? Eamon?
I don't know. Perhaps my husband. Perhaps he really isn't dead. Oh, Race, I'm a coward, and the money only gives me more to fear.
You're not silly enough to be carting $500,000 around with you.
No, I cashed the check, but I put the money in one of those rental lockers that look out of your field before I came over. Here's the key that opens that locker, Race. I want you to keep it for me.
You want me to keep it?
I don't know why, but I'm convinced that getting rid of this key is my only chance of staying alive.
Yeah, it's a very sweet thought. Now we can stop worrying about you, but what about me?
We'll return to the adventures of Frank Race in just about 1 minute. And now, back to the adventures of Frank Race.
I waited for somebody to make a play, but nothing came. Until I got an invitation from Sutra Heyman to take part in some winter sports at a chalet he owned above Snowline. Inside the chalet, there was a roaring fire in every room. Romick was there, and so was Gary and a few other people I didn't know. But Heyman didn't bother with introductions. He showed me up to my room, and he came in, too. Closed the door.
There is a small balcony outside the window, Mr. Race. But do not become overly enthusiastic about the view. There is a sheer drop of almost 1,000 feet.
You didn't come in to tell me that.
Merely polite conversation. A prelude to more important things.
What's on your mind?
Hilary Stewart.
In what way?
I'm in love with her. I want you to leave her alone.
So you invited us up here to spend the weekend together. Rotten planning.
I have several plans. Some of them pleasant.
And the others?
Most unpleasant. They do not come within 1,000 feet of being pleasant.
What do you want? The girl or the money? Because if it's the money, you have to deal with me.
What do you mean?
Stewart's insurance. $500,000. It's locked up, and I've got the only key to it.
Then you are not interested in Hilary?
Only in a casual sort of way. Any man would be. Gary's the lad you better keep the eye on.
Gary works for me. It was his job to keep other men away from her.
Oh, so that's it. You brace yourself for a shock, Hammond. Your muscle man has fallen in love with his work.
Gary, you are joking.
It's no joke, Hammond. He'll kill anybody who tries to take her away from him, including you. After planting the seed of doubt within Heyman, I went to bed. But I was restive. With that 1,000-foot drop outside the window, I felt like a flagpole sitter the day before he breaks the record. It was with sleepy delight that I found myself alive in the morning. But the sleepiness wore off with tobogganing and skiing and the inevitable snow fight.
Ouch! Watch him, Race. He's putting chunks of rice on them.
When I was a kid, we used to use coal.
I'll even it up with you. With this one.
Oh, nice work, Romy.
Why, you want to get on my right side, will you? You're blocking my swing.
Oh, sorry. Forgot you were a southpaw.
Oh, there's Heyman in the open. Let him have it.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm the only undamaged target left.
Oh, just when I was getting the range. Oh, well. Look, there's a car coming up the road.
Yes, I think it's a friend of mine.
Oh.
I'll go meet him.
Oh.
It was Mark, all right, in a battered cab that a New York hacky wouldn't have taken into the Catskills. I told the cab driver to wait, and I dragged the protesting Mark up to my room.
What's the matter with you? What'd you tell him to wait for?
Because he's going right back with him. How about the cables?
Oh, yeah. Bad news. The insurance company got in touch with the police, like you said, and they opened that lock at LaGuardia, but the loot was gone.
Gone? Are you sure, Mark?
Empty as a horse player's pocket. Here, read it yourself.
How about Romick?
2 years with the Dodgers, all right. Third base, like you told him. Batted a lousy 212, but he was okay in the field.
Still, a southpaw third baseman is a bit unusual.
What are you talking about? Romick ain't no southpaw. It says he was a right-hander.
Good boy, Mark. That's what I wanted.
Then I don't have to go back down with that nut?
Oh, more than ever. You're going to Paris.
Paris? Why didn't you say so? I'll slide down a hill on my nose.
There's a Columbia Life Plan office on the Rue de la Paix. Get to the man in charge and tell him I sent you.
Check. Ruth de la Paix. Check.
Tell him to contact every major insurance company on the continent and find out if any of them have ever paid a claim on the life of Pete or Peter Romick.
He ain't dead.
He may be. This Romick's an imposter. Yeah, and one more thing.
Yeah?
I think Hillary brought the money over here with her. $500,000 shouldn't be too hard to trace. Have all the foreign exchange branches of the banks check to see if any private individual has had large sums of American currency exchanged for francs or British pounds. Any European currency.
Consider that I have done it. And we'll be back with the info in a couple of days.
Well, wait a couple of days. I'll be as cold as yon mountain peak. Heyman has a phone hidden in his den. I spotted the wires. Now, you stay at the Columbia Life Plan office when you get that information.
Right.
Make them keep the place open all night if you have to. And I'll slip down during the night and phone you from here.
I will persuade them to stay open with me end wrench.
I had less time than I thought. It was in their eyes at lunch. There was a lot of nervous tension around that table. Another very obvious thing was that all the other guests, with the exception of Hillary, Romick, Gary, and, of course, Heyman, had suddenly left for other places and other company.
You are not eating well, Race. I should think the sports would sharpen your appetite.
He goes on diet sometimes. He loves soup.
Well, I'm not much of a lunch hound. Neither is Hillary. Maybe we need more exercise. Walk?
I think I'd like that.
Excuse us?
Of course.
Sure.
The snow was beautiful and deadly. Deadly because you left a trail behind you with every step. No use trying to hide. There was no place to hide. Hillary knew it, too, because...
Race. Oh, Race.
Hey, take it easy.
Hold me, Race. I'm frightened. One of them's going to kill me.
Why, you? I've got the key. This is no time to argue the point, because unless I'm mistaken, there's a man on that far slope. And he has a rifle with a telescopic sight. Get down.
Where is he?
Never mind, do as I tell you. Crawl this way, but keep low.
Oh, Race, we can't go any further. There's a drop here.
Yeah, there's a slight slope. If it isn't too sheer, we may make it. Hold on to me now and relax. We're going to go bobsledding without a bobsled.
No, Race! No!
We hit the bottom. It was touch and go, but it was a little extra distance on our side. But we had to keep moving. At least we had darkness to cover us. Then we rested, but not for long. I was trying to figure out a way to work back to the house and keep my telephone rendezvous with Mark when...
Race, look.
Following the trail with torches. Tenacious, aren't they? Only 2 lights, though. Somebody isn't playing.
Race, you can hear me.
Don't answer him.
Well, thanks for the advice. Think I like to play clay pigeon?
Answer me, Race, or I shall have your friend call you. You don't think I let him get back to Zurich, do you?
He's got Mark.
Your friend wants you to join us here. I will let him tell you. Don't be a sucker, Race. Keep going.
I'm sorry, Hillary. All right, Heyman. Gary. You've convinced me.
Bargain with them, Race. They want the key.
Very pertinent suggestion. Yeah, listen, Heyman. Before I make a target of myself, remember, I'm the only one who knows where that key is.
I am aware of that, Race. Lead me to it. Then Gary will hold you and your friend for 48 hours, after which you will be released. Get lost, Race! Get lost!
All right, Heyman, but make Gary lay off.
You can stop him by walking toward our torches.
Here we come. walked to the lights. Poor Mark. He looked like he'd gone 40 rounds with Dempsey. His eyes swollen, half closed.
What'd you have to give up for it?
Perhaps to fight another day, boy. All right, Heyman. Shall we march?
An excellent suggestion.
The scout troop seems to be short a member of the Eager Beaver Patrol.
Rummick?
No, the man who posed as Rummick.
Oh, you are very clever, Race. The real Rummick is dead, of course, as you surmise.
How about the fake Rummick?
He is dead too, Race. You see, he went up to search your room, and he found part of the cablegram you tried to burn. The information about the real Rummick. He was very excited. He wanted to find you and confide in you, I think. But in his excitement, he fell from the balcony.
Well, that's convenient. Only two of you to split the money now. How are you going to split Hillary?
What do you mean, Race?
Well, Heyman was in a tender and confiding mood yesterday. He loves the lady. That makes you rivals, doesn't it?
Heyman?
He's needling you, you fool.
If you can convince him of that, Heyman, you're dumber than I thought.
I'm smart enough to make sure. Drop your gun, Heyman, and walk with the rest.
This is earlier than I had planned to scare you. But you had to be eliminated sooner or later.
Oh, careful, Ray. Now, I knew you'd be a sucker, Gabe. Leave go of me. Now, I'll take that.
Don't shoot, Race. Please.
Don't worry. I'm not the type. How do you feel, Mark?
Oh, rocky.
That's too bad. I thought you might want to tie the score with Gary.
Huh? Oh, I get it. For that, I'm in a pink. I got one good round in me, and that's just about all it's going to take.
Now, listen.
You listen. You're a very lucky guy that I ain't got my English. Well, what do you know? Boy, look at all that ocean under us, will you? Well, I'd be glad to see New York again. Hey, what do you suppose them Swiss guys will do to that Gary?
He murdered Heyman. They have laws. Good ones.
You saved my life, Race. I'm very grateful.
You'll pay for it.
Of course. I'll pay you well. Are you sure the insurance company will close the case when we've told them everything?
When we've told them everything, yes. And as soon as they locate and attach the money, wherever you banked it in Europe.
But I don't understand.
And you've yet to be tried for being an accessory to your husband's murder.
Holy smokes, Race, what do you...
You made a big mistake, Hillary. You were the only one who knew the money wasn't in the locker. Or Heyman would have shot me on sight without trying to get the key.
That's not true, Race.
Oh, yes, it is, Ducky. You were all in it together. You, Heyman, and the others. Heyman was easy to tag, too. You know, the manager of a branch office of a bankrupt firm wouldn't own a Swiss chalet, equipped with servants, unless he had private means. Like the money from Romick's insurance.
That doesn't mean that I had
It
any...
means you were greedy, Ducky. You didn't want Heyman to cut in on your $500,000.
But, Race, why would I have called you in if I had anything
Yes, just so you could ask that very question. You knew that I would be the perfect alibi in the eyes of the insurance company. It would have worked, too, beautifully, if you hadn't taken that money out of the locker.
You're not going to send me to prison, Race. Never! Never!
Race, he's getting away.
20,000 feet with all that ocean down there? Relax, Mark. She isn't going far.
Of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins, with Tony Barrett as Mark Dollins, Others heard in tonight's cast were Michael Ann Barrett, Tom Holland, Charlie Lung, This series is written and directed by Joel Murcott and Buckley Angel. The music is composed and played by Ivan Ditmars. Be sure to be with us again this same time next week for another dramatic chapter in The Adventures of Frank Race. Art Gilmore speaking. This is a Bruce Ells production.
Welcome back. Well, we learned Mark Donovan is always ready for a fight. Even when he's about to fall over himself, he'll be sure and just save one punch for the bad guy before he goes down. But I can definitely understand why. The Enoch Arden laws, always rich material for the minds of mystery writers. Well, we now are going to talk about Monday's next season. And this is something that's going to change the middle of next season. We still have quite a few weeks where we'll be doing Frank Race here. But what I guess I should start by letting you know that yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is going to be featuring Bob Bailey soon. And this has been something I've been asked about since we began the show. When are you going to get to the Bob Bailey episodes of yours truly, Johnny Dollar? That's a fair question. My answer's been once we get through all the other Johnny Dollar episodes. The thing to understand about the Bob Bailey, yours truly, Johnny Dollar episodes is that they do not start out as half-hour programs. They begin as daily 15-minute serials. On the bright side, these 5-part serials provide plenty of time for story development, plot twist, and excitement. On the downside, they don't easily fit into our general format. Now, there are a couple of ways we could do this. We could do 2 15-minute episodes a week on Fridays, or we could run a whole serial together. So you'd have about an hour-plus radio movie every week. That, to me, just does not feel like how the series should be viewed or heard. Unlike other programs, which could have somewhat sprawling epics. If you listen to the Superman show, we've had some of those serials go well past the 20-part mark. With 2 exceptions, these are straight 5-part episodes. They were meant to be heard using cliffhangers and resolved all within the same week. So how are we going to facilitate this? Well, the way it'll be will be Monday and Wednesday. We'll do 2 15-minute episodes of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, with the last episode of the serial coming up on Friday. Now, you may wonder a little bit about that, but I'll tell you all about that on Friday. So what this means is that we'll continue to play The Adventures of Frank Race, the last 7 weeks of which will move to Tuesday at some point, and we'll finish Let George Do It that week with Let George Do It on Monday and Wednesday of that week, and then the last pre-Bob Bailey episode of Johnny Dollar heard on Friday, and then we'll resume with that schedule. And this will continue throughout those 58 weeks. So we're making this change mainly because this is such an exceptional program. I mean, from my opinion, other than perhaps the first year of Dragnet, or first couple years of Dragnet, I've not heard such high quality for a sustained period. This is just as good as it gets, and we want to be sure that we bring it to you in a way that will be enjoyable to you, and that will kind of capture the original spirit of it as best we can. Of course, there'll be some additional adjustments for Wednesdays and Fridays, so listen to those days, and certainly feel free to email any questions. All right, well, we will see you Tuesday with Leonidas Witherall, and we'll discuss the programs that we'll be bringing you this season on Tuesdays. Well, I do want to thank those who have supported our listener support campaign. I want to say a special thank you to Ross. And we'll be sending along access to our premium site, as we do with all donations of $7 or more. In addition, because he gave a donation greater than $20, we'll be sending along a free digital copy of my ebook, All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo. In addition, you can choose from several gifts that are available. We have a list of those thank you gifts at support.greatdetectives.net. Among those is Colonial Radio Theater presentation of Gettysburg. The Colonial Radio Theater players bring the story of Gettysburg, that tragic tale, to life with just fantastic sensitivity. And it is just a very stirring and moving epic. And it is available with a donation of $20 or more. We have several other options that are available, but I encourage you to check those out at support.greatdetectives.net. Now it's time to get into today's episode. This week's episode is Leonidas Witherall. This one comes from October the 8th of 1944, and the title is Murder on the Train. And be sure and listen after the show, and we'll let you know about the programs that we're going to be bringing you next season on Tuesday.
Don't open that coffin. You know, there isn't just a dead body in there. There might also be... Oh, the lid's coming off. Now we can see inside.
WOR presents the distinguished American actor, Walter Hampden, in The Adventures of Leonidas Witherall.
Leonidas Witherall's always getting mixed up in murder. You wouldn't think so. He looks just like Shakespeare.
It's his beard, and he's head of an important school for boys in New England.
He also writes thriller stories on the side, the Lieutenant Hazeltine stories.
And as director of a school, Leonidas has been called to Chicago for an educators' convention, hasn't he, Mr. Hampden?
Yes, in his home at 40 Birch Hill Road, Dalton, Bill Shakespeare, as his friends call him, is about to leave for the railroad station, valise, pince-nez, beard, and all. And he's to be accompanied by the neighborhood housekeeper, the indomitable Mrs. Mullet.
Forget anything, Mr. Witherall?
Oh, I remembered everything, Mrs. Mullet. How about you?
Oh, I brought everything with me when I came to work this morning.
I'm still amazed at our good luck in getting Professor Murky's reservation for you. Too bad he's ill, of course.
My sister will be so surprised to see me. Poor thing, she's so sick.
Come on, we've just a few minutes to get to the station. Not that I'm anxious to be at the convention.
Well, what's a convention like?
Well, a man says nothing, nobody listens, and then everybody disagrees.
Must be interesting.
Uh-huh.
Your delegation using the whole car?
No, just half of it. Shall we go? Train leaves at 4:20, and it's 4 o'clock now. I'll take all the baggage.
Well, I can take these small things. Well, I hope there's some nice chummy folks on the train. Wonder who the other passengers will be.
Well, Sparrow, where's the dough?
I'll give it to you on the train, Danny.
You've been stalling me, Sparrow. It's almost 5 weeks.
This time it's the McCoy, Danny. You'll get it.
When's the book going to be published?
In about a month.
Did you change the manuscript?
No.
Just the way I wrote it, huh?
Just the way I wrote it, you mean?
Yeah, you wrote it. Like Mahatma Gandhi, you wrote it.
We went into that, Danny. Too many times. I got the manuscript.
You stole it.
Why'd you get so technical? I gave it to the publisher. Margie swore I wrote it. It's an open and shut case, ain't it?
Why'd you double-cross me? She knows it's my script. She helped me work on it. You using the same title for the book?
Sure. The Big Shot. That's it. The Big Shot. A very hot piece of literature, Danny. When the great guy himself gets a look at that book, he's liable to blow his top.
Yeah. Or yours.
I'm taking that chance. Worth it to get back at him. Every racket of his, every job he ever pulled, it's all in there in that book.
The book I sweated over.
You'll get paid, don't worry. You just be on that train, the 4:20 for Chicago.
If I don't get it then, Sparrow, I'm going to cut your heart out.
I know.
I'd kind of like to do it anyway.
Just be on the train. You'll get the payoff there.
So long.
You'll get the payoff, all right. The final payoff.
Track 8, the commander for Chicago. Track 8, the commander for Chicago.
It's 4:20, Mr. Witherall. Why doesn't the train leave?
Look out on the platform, Mrs. Mullet, and you'll find the answer. See the men out there?
Oh, yes. Say, that's a funeral.
Well, sort of. They look sad. That's what's delaying us.
Poor fellas. Bet the dead man was a good friend of theirs that looks so sad.
They're putting the coffin into the baggage car now. It won't be long.
Just my luck to be on a train with a coffin. They say it's very bad luck.
Cracky, the commander for Chicago. Cracky, the commander for Chicago.
Easy now, Red. Easy, don't drop it.
Look sad, you dope. Look sad. This is supposed to be a funeral.
Yeah.
Hey, never thought a coffin weighed so much.
All right, slide it on the wagon. The guys will roll it into the baggage car. Now, here we go.
Hey, listen, Benny. Why'd the boss want to pull the job this way? Ain't this an awful screwy way to do it?
He said it's the only way, and we got to do it. Furthermore, we can't miss either. After the coffin's in the baggage car, I got the whole plan doped out.
It's a good thing you got strong knives.
Yeah, it ain't so hard. I take these things for granted. Besides, Brain says if I miss, it's going to be awful sad for me.
Hey, they got the coffin inside.
Yeah, I better get on. They'll be leaving.
Goodbye, everybody. Good to see you. The commander for Chicago.
Hey, Benny. Don't forget, the baby we're after is in compartment 6, car 5.
Yeah, I know. Boss is on car 5, too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Red.
You gonna sit here by the coffin, mister?
Yeah, I'm the guy. Gonna ride to Chicago with a stiff. Nice company I pick, huh?
Well, if you've any time free from the convention in Chicago, Mr. Witherall, just drop over and see my collection. Finest butterfly collection in the Middle West.
Yes, Mr. Lear, I'll be all aflutter to see it.
My, it's late, isn't it? And here I've been talking almost forever to you and Mrs. Mullet.
Oh, not forever, Mr. Lear. Just seems that way.
Well, it was a real pleasure to make your acquaintance. Mrs. Mullet?
Good night, Mr. Lear.
Mr. Witherall?
Good night.
I'm going back to the observation car. I always take 10 deep breaths of pure air before I go to bed.
Huh?
Puts new oxygen in the lungs. Well, see you in the morning.
Help you with your compartment, sir?
Yes, Porter, thank you.
Well, I better be going to my compartment, too. I'll be in number 4, you know. Then there's the one next door to here. That's 6. This one's number 8, isn't it?
That's right, ma'am.
All right.
I'll make up number 4, ma'am. Be back soon.
Listen, Mr. Witherall. You hear them next door in number 6? Why, they're arguing so loud it comes right through the wall.
Okay, so I double-crossed you, so what?
You low-down rat.
Evidently, they're not honeymooners.
Go on, tell the police. You wouldn't get the first base. The big shot's going to be printed. I'm the guy that wrote it as far as everybody's concerned, and you're just a nuisance. Now, what can you do about that?
I gave up Denny on account of you. I helped him work on the book. Then I stepped all over him and swore you wrote it. And what? Because you said you and I was going places together.
You gave official testimony. You can't perjure yourself. You were up a tree, and I got you there. So what?
Denny's on this train. Did you know that?
Sure, I told him to be here. Told him I'd pay off.
But me, I don't get a nickel.
Not a cent. Besides, quit chasing me around. You annoy me.
You don't really mean that. You used to like me so much.
Embarrassing. We better stop eavesdropping, Mrs. Mullet.
Why, not in your life. Just when it's getting interesting.
Let go of me. You're getting that cheap powder all over my shoulders.
Don't you feel like kissing me good night?
Get out. You make me sick.
You don't want no part of me, huh? I get no money, no nothing. Okay. We'll see who wins the last round.
Oh, hang up, will you? I want to go to bed.
When I get finished with you, they'll put you to bed with a shovel.
Mrs. Mullet, that's hardly the sort of idyllic conversation to make a nice lullaby.
Well, I suppose you're right. Well, good night, Mr. Witherall.
Good night, Mrs. Mullet. See you in the morning.
I don't like this train at all. People threatening each other. Then back there in that baggage car, that coffin. I can feel something horrible's going to happen. Something that'd freeze your blood in your veins.
Good
night, Mr. Witherall. Pleasant dreams.
Good night.
Wake up, mister. It's 2:30 a.m. Coming into Cleveland. Wake up.
George,
Yes, sir.
George, it may be necessary to wake my fellow passenger in the next compartment there, but could you do it with a shade less violence? I've been trying desperately to fall asleep.
Well, he's going to miss Cleveland. I got to get him up.
Yes, but all you have to do is to wake one man. You're not supposed to blitzkrieg the train.
He paid me $5 to make sure he gets off of Cleveland. I practically broke down this compartment door, but I can't get him up.
Well, keep trying. The lucky fellow's probably a heavy sleeper. Good night.
Good night, sir. Sleep well. I'll do it real gentle.
Wake up in there! Here comes Cleveland!
George, why don't you open his door and go in, eh?
Oh, it ain't right. I'm not supposed to do that.
Well, if you're going to continue your present tactics, would you please get something for me?
Why, yes, sir. What?
Small bottle of ether.
Oh, I guess I better go in. It's the only way.
Yes. Now I can get some sleep, I hope.
Oh, my goodness. My. Conductor!
What's wrong, George?
The man, the fella in compartment 6, he's...
What is it?
That man's dead.
I'll get my bottle. Dead, eh?
Yes, sir. D-A-I-D, dead.
Well, I hope your medical diagnosis is better than your spelling.
What's happened, Mr. Witherall?
George says the passenger in the compartment between us is dead.
Yeah, go on in. You'll see.
I knew it. I told her there'd be trouble.
Well, let's see. Come into the compartment. He's dead, all right, no matter how you spell it.
Well, who is he?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, that's funny. This man looks different to me.
Different, George?
Uh-huh.
Well, all men's faces change a little when they die, for the better.
Yeah, I suppose so. Of course, I never did see him so good anyway.
Now, what's up, George?
The old passenger in 6, he's dead.
Yes? Who's this fella?
I believe the phrase is an innocent bystander, Conductor. My name is Leonidas Witherall.
Anybody know the name of the dead man?
Evident enough.
All right, I'll wire the police at our next stop. They can take over from there. Now, let's look around and see who this fella is.
Well, you should let Mr. Witherall take charge. He's used to solving murders.
How do you know this man was murdered?
Oh, when Mr. Witherall's around, practically everybody gets murdered after a while.
We don't, Mrs. Mullet. Don't exaggerate.
All right, folks, everybody go back to bed. Don't be holding your teacher's convention in this compartment.
Say, why not let Mr. Witherall take charge?
Yeah, sure. We all know him.
He's sort of detective.
Are you a detective, mister? You with a beard.
Officially, no. Occasionally, by an odd and unpredictable series of circumstances, yes.
Okay, so you're a detective. Well, get going. Maybe you can help find out who this dead man is.
Well, here's his wallet in his hand. His name's Thomas Bridges, 147 Mandalay Boulevard, Boston.
Well, here it is, code. It's a ticket. A return ticket from Chicago.
Chicago? Well, that's strange. So it is.
Well, why is it strange? We're going to Chicago, aren't we?
Yes, but this man asked George to get him off at Cleveland.
Think he really was bumped off, Mr. Witherall?
Well, no signs of violence, Conductor.
Mr. Witherall, I just heard. Isn't it too shocking?
Oh, yes, Mr. Lear, very unfortunate.
A heart attack, probably.
Oh, probably.
Some people will disobey M.N.
M.N.?
Mother Nature.
Yes?
They strain themselves so.
Oh, okay, QED.
Who's been hurt?
This gentleman on the bed, he's dead.
That's not... Why, that's...
Thomas Bridges?
Yeah, Bridges.
Did you know him?
We met in the diner. And what's your name? Margie McIntosh.
Conductor, I think it would be best if we all went back to sleep. When the police come, we can find out exactly what's happened.
Good idea.
Well, pleasant dreams.
Oh, excuse me, but could you tell me what's happened?
Hey, what are you poking around for, mister?
Well, I'm a writer. I sometimes do newspaper work. My name's Randolph. Danny Randolph.
Man named Bridges just kicked off.
Oh, I see. Well, look, could I just take a look and see? You say his name was Bridges?
Right.
We'll tell you if anything exciting develops after the police arrive, Mr. Randolph.
Well, I'd appreciate it. I'm down car 12. I'd like to know everything that happened.
Break it up, folks. Everybody back where you belong. I'll turn out the light, Mr. Witherall, and close the door.
Yes, I'll be in the next car if you need me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Lear.
So will I. But I don't think I can help much.
Well, you never can tell. Good night, Miss McIntyre.
Don't forget to tell me when the police come. Keep me up to the second.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Randolph.
I'll be in car 7 if you want me, Mr. Witherall.
All right, Conductor.
Well, I guess I'll be going back to my compartment.
Don't go to your compartment.
Why?
We've got some work to do about the dead man.
Now, don't tell me you're going to go sticking your nose into this. You know, every time you get mixed up in a murder, somebody tries to strangle you.
Wait till the car quiets down. Won't take a second. Then you sneak into compartment 6.
What for?
Well, I've been thinking of George's remark that the gentleman in the compartment looked different.
Oh.
Also, the fact that the original passenger in number 6 wanted to get off at Cleveland. And the dead man has a return ticket from Chicago.
Did you say the original passenger?
Yes, the corpse in 6 isn't the man who belongs there at all. I think someone else was there originally.
How can you be sure?
When going through his trunk, I noticed that although it was equipped with a splendid wardrobe, the pajamas were missing. They weren't anywhere in the room. You see, the man who slept in there first must have been wearing them. Ah, the passage is empty, and the conductor's obligingly lowered the light. Come on now. Here's the door. In very quietly.
What are you going to do?
Shut the door. That's it. Now hand into his bedroom, sit us on the floor.
Here you are.
Thank you. I'll just try them on this man. Wait, I'll get the shoes off first. There. Now, see?
They don't fit.
Right. This compartment doesn't belong to Mr. Bridges at all.
Well,
It belongs to someone else. Someone who's wearing pajamas. Someone who undoubtedly has been murdered.
Well, who? Where'd it be?
Well, where would you look for a dead body, Mrs. Mullet?
In a coffin?
Clever of you.
In a coffin? You mean...
That the real murdered man is in the baggage car. In the coffin, brought here during the funeral. Logical, isn't it? Come on.
You're not going to the baggage car, are you?
I certainly am. Now, someone's guarding that coffin. It's law. So we'll have to dispose of him, then we can go ahead.
Go ahead with what?
We can go ahead and open the coffin.
Yes, we can go ahead and open... Mr. Witherall. See? Peek through this little glass in the door. The man's in there, sitting right beside the coffin.
Miss Mullet, I'll speak to him, and you stand casually beside him. Then when I nod, you hit him on the head. Use anything you see. Grappling hook, hammer, heavy package, anything.
That's easy.
Then we'll open the coffin.
That's hard.
Oh, let's go. I'll open the door.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Don't I know you? Yeah. No. Yeah, you look like, what's the name of that bird?
Not Bird, Bard. Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's the bird.
Then you're acquainted with him, eh?
Oh, sure. Not personal. I read 2 of his plays, Romeo and Juliet.
2?
Who's the dame?
What's that?
Mrs. Mullet, meet, what's the bird?
Huh? Oh, my name's Benny. Hiya. Hey, what are you two doing back here?
Oh, we got restless, walked through the train, and found ourselves back here. Oh, guarding that coffin, eh, Benny?
Yeah. Why don't you sit down on the 6-foot bungalow there, and we'll split the breeze. You know, I got a great acquaintance with the works of Shakespeare. A lot of his stuff's been dramatized, you know.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I know all about it. All about his tragedies and comedies and errors.
Say, anything happened tonight while you were watching the coffin, Benny?
Huh? Nah.
Well, anyone speak to you tonight? Any strangers?
Yeah, I don't know any. Yeah, just squat here watching after my boyfriend in a fine overcoat.
No.
Had a nice idea for him, too. You know what? I wanted to put one of them pretty flower horseshoes on the box. You know, the ones that say success.
Benny, there's been a murder on this train.
Kind of a night. What?
And I'm investigating it.
Yeah?
And
Yeah?
you're very much in the way. Now, Mrs. Mullet.
I'll get him.
Tell you, Midsummer Night's Dream. I was...
I'll hide, Benny, behind these mail bags. Fine. Now I'll take this grappling hook and get at that coffin.
Do you have to do that?
It's no time to be nervous. Got this side up. Now, the other. Certainly nailed this down hard.
Oh, it's very bad luck to open a coffin. There's no telling what's inside. Are you sure you have to do that?
Now I can pick up the whole lid. Ready, Mrs. Mullet?
Well, I'm as ready as I ever will be.
Don't behave so foolishly. Coffin's been opened before. Body snatchers do it regularly.
Well, not when I was around.
So here goes.
Why, it's a man in pajamas. And he's been stabbed.
Just as I thought. Someone stabbed this man during the middle of the night. And then exchanged his dead body for the corpse in his coffin. They switched it, you see, with Bridges' body.
But why would they do that?
Cover up. This chap, whoever he is, would disappear completely, you see. He was last seen boarding this train and then vanished as if by magic. By the time his friends or relatives discovered anything was wrong, he would have been buried in this coffin.
Well, what would happen to Bridges?
Well, I'm sure Mr. Bridges was selected because he's the type of man nobody would be looking for.
Oh.
Bridges' death would be discovered by the coroner as a heart attack, which it probably was. And that would clear the killer completely, you see. Now, our first problem is, who is this man? And secondly, who played checkers with the 2 cadavers?
I'll bet that Benny over there knows.
Then we'd better revive him.
Wait. Look down the corridor.
What?
Someone's coming. It's that newspaper man, Danny Randolph.
Quick, hide behind these mail sacks. Duck behind here with me.
All right. Is this all right? You think they can see us?
No, this is fine.
You see the open coffin?
That's just what I want.
Holy smokes. Margie, what are you doing here?
Shut up. Not so loud. You noticed the same thing, huh? The wrong guy in Sparrow's compartment.
Yeah, I figured somebody pulled a switch. There he is. See him in the coffin?
Yeah. I'll bet you can explain how it happened.
Are you crazy? It's not when I saw that stiff in Sparrow's place. How'd you ever manage it?
You sap. You don't think I stabbed him, do you?
Why not? He double-crossed you.
How about you? You really wrote the big shot. Sparrow stole it from you.
I was going to collect from him on this train tonight. You don't think I'd knife him and lose the dough, would you?
Well, maybe he was a big boy himself. He'd do anything to keep that book from being published.
It might have been His Royal Highness, yeah. Maybe
I could make things very hot for you, Danny. I could shoot my mouth off about Sparrow taking your book. That'd give you a terrific motive.
Yeah, and I could tell a cute yarn about how you got to swear he wrote it, and then told you to go jump in the drink.
We don't have to be nasty to each other, Danny. We could be friends again. I've always been kind of sorry we broke up. Haven't you?
First you had me, and then you cashed me in for Sparrow. Now he's gone, you figure you'll take me back. You're a high-class twist, ain't you?
I'll keep quiet. We can take up where we left off.
Yeah, sure. I could trust you.
Wanna kiss and make up?
So you can get the dough from the book, huh? Go on, scram before I push your face in.
But, Danny...
I'm getting out of here. This guy's no place to be with Sparrow lying in that coffin.
Wait, Danny.
Let me alone and keep your trap shut.
Danny, come back! Danny, wait a minute. Quite a girl, ain't she?
Yes, a charming twist.
You think she killed Sparrow, or did Danny do it?
You've forgotten the suggestion Danny made himself. Maybe it was the gentleman they called the Big Shot, who was about to be exposed by that book.
Well, how can you find out who it was?
Well, it seems rather simple to me. Since this is all because of the manuscript of a book, whoever has that script is the killer. We'll have to search for it in their berths, in Margie's, Danny's, and
Well, how do you search the Big Shot? You don't know who he is.
At least I can eliminate the first two. Mrs. Mullet, how's your scream these days?
Well, after seeing you open that coffin, should be very good.
Well, I want you to stand at one end of that car up front and scream for all you're worth.
All right.
Then lead everyone on a merry chase all through the train. I want about 3 or 4 minutes of confusion to examine Margie's and Danny's luggage.
Suppose the manuscript ain't there.
Then we know the Big Shot did the killing, and we'd have to find him. Let's go up front.
All right.
Leave Benny there. He seems to be resting so peacefully, probably dreaming about those 2 plays, Romeo and Juliet. Come on. Ready, Mrs. Mullet?
Ready, Mr. Witherall.
Go on.
Well, it kept them all chasing me for 5 minutes. You find the manuscript, Mr. Witherall?
Yes, I did, and I left it where I found it, too.
Who had it?
It was in...
Here's the station, Mr. Witherall. Police will come on. We can get to the bottom of this now.
I'm so glad the police are here. I was getting so upset.
Yes, I imagine this has been quite a strain for you, Miss Twist.
Huh?
Beg pardon, Miss McIntosh.
What do you mean?
Cops will be coming on now, huh?
Yep, Mr. Randolph. Everybody stay right here.
Oh, I'm so glad we'll know if anything suspicious is going on. I couldn't sleep thinking about this, couldn't sleep at all. And that's so bad. Suspense causes an unfavorable glandular reaction.
Page Mother Nature, Mr. Lear.
Oh, my head. I ought to have a doctor. I ought to insult a physician.
Why, Benny.
Ah, there you are, huh? Hey, listen, what's the idea of
We
bopping...
were just going to discuss the whole problem, Benny. I see down by the end of the car there that the police have arrived.
Police?
Yep. Come on down here, officer.
Okay. Where's the body you wired about?
Right in there, compartment 6. It's a man named Bridges.
Officer, I think I can explain what's happened.
Who are you?
He's Leonidas Witherall, head of Meredith Academy. Mr. Witherall's a very good detective.
Oh, I'm not a professional detective, but I can tell you about the murder that's taken place.
Murder?
Was Bridges murdered?
No, his body was secured somewhere so that a false funeral might be arranged and his body in the coffin might be placed on this train. The murdered man was named Sparrow. Sparrow originally occupied this compartment.
Shakespeare, nothing. Sherlock Holmes.
I'm glad you spoke up, Benny. Benny was a part of the plan, obviously. He was working for a man identified only as the Big Shot. To keep Sparrow from printing a book about his activities, this Big Shot hired Benny to kill Sparrow, steal the manuscript, and switch the bodies.
Sparrow's body's in the baggage car, officer, with a long knife in the side. I saw it.
So, Benny...
I didn't stab no sparrow.
I know you didn't, Benny, because you haven't got the manuscript in question. I found the script in the real murderer's luggage.
Whose luggage was it?
When Benny arrived at compartment 6, someone had already put a knife into Sparrow, but Benny, faithfully executing his orders, switched the bodies anyway.
Where'd you find the manuscript?
Now, Benny's error helped the murderer considerably. Sparrow had disappeared. No one would ever know where he'd gone.
Come on. Where'd you find the script?
Now, that's the key to the whole problem, isn't it, Margie?
Who has it? Yes, who's done this?
Come on, if you're such a detective.
Tell us, Mr. Witherall, tell us. Well, go on.
I found it in Danny's briefcase.
You what?
It was in your briefcase, Danny. You killed Sparrow.
Don't try to get off this train, Danny. You make a dive for that platform, I'll put 6 slugs in your back.
Danny, you did this.
He stole my book. I would have made a fortune out of it. And tonight, in his compartment, he wouldn't pay off. We had a fight. And there was a knife on the table. We both went for it. And I won. That's all. I risked my life to write that book. I wouldn't let any man live who took it away from me. And least of all, Sparrow, the skunk.
Sparrow the skunk? Oh, your biological background is deplorable, Danny, deplorable.
We'll take both bodies off. You come with me, Danny.
Well, Mr. Witherall, that was excellent. Excellent. You've a brilliant mind. You must lead a very clean, healthful life.
Yes, Mr. Lear, and I wish you did, too.
What do you mean?
Mr. Lear, when I saw the manuscript in Danny's briefcase, I glanced for a second at a few pages. I learned who this national criminal is. The big shot. The man who hired Benny and arranged the funeral.
You sneaking, crummy busybody.
It was, this guy.
It was Mr. Lear. This nice little man with the butterflies.
Yes, this nice little man is the big shot. You'd better take him with you, too, officer.
Another crook. Boy, it's going to take a lot of blue points to get all these people out of the can. All right, let's go, Danny. Come on, you.
I'm coming.
Quit shoving, copper. I can walk on my own.
No, conductor, I think we can continue on our way to Chicago and the convention. It'll seem so anticlimactic now, I suppose.
Everybody go back to your berths. As soon as we get the bodies off, we'll leave.
And I go to sleep at last. Sleep. I'm so tired. So tired. As the gentleman I'm supposed to resemble has written, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care.
Shut the doors!
The death of each day's life, sore labors, bath.
I'll fix that mattress, mister.
Balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course.
Well, somebody fell off the ladder climbing into an upper berth.
Chief nourisher in life's feast. Sleep, sleep.
WOR has presented the distinguished American actor, Walter Hampden, in The Adventures of Leonidas Witherall. Mrs. Mullet is played by Ethel Ramey. The character of Leonidas Witherall is from the mystery novels by Alice Tilton. The radio script is by Howard Merrill, and the program is directed by Roger Barr. Witherall's involved in a history-making event next week, isn't he, Mr. Hampden?
Yes, the next week's story is about that miraculous and infinitely rare event, a nylon sale. It's a delightful and very exciting adventure in homicide, and I hope you'll be listening next Sunday at 7. Now, good night.
Listen again next Sunday at 7 p.m. for Walter Hampden in The Adventures of Leonidas Witherall. This program came to you from the studios of WOR in New York. This is Mutual.
Welcome back. Well, this was a pretty clever little mystery with the moving the bodies around and the use of the crate for that purpose. Kind of interesting, just the way that they worked it out. And overall, just some pretty nice twist. The Blue Points reference was kind of an odd one, because Blue Points were used during the war for purchasing processed foods. And I was not aware you could pay bail with them. Of course, the portrayal of the porter was just kind of the typical classic radio portrayal of porters, and in most radio and film productions of the era, it didn't get much better. I will say I thought they did a much better job in the Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce film, Sherlock Holmes in Washington. I like that one much better. A little bit less stereotypical. All right. Well, now, as promised, we move to the Tuesday shows you're going to be hearing. And Tuesday really is where you'll hear the majority flux usually on the program. Because we always want to leave Tuesday open for those shows that don't have a ton of episodes out there. And so we will be bringing you a grand total of 6 shows next season. Now, of course, coming up still this season, in a couple of weeks, day after Labor Day, we're going to be bringing you The Fat Man. The shows that we'll be bringing you next season are as follows. Call the Police, Alive in Your Hand, Cases of Mr. Ace. Then The Adventures of Frank Race will move to Tuesdays. And after that, we'll bring you The Big Guy, Mr. Moto, and The Amazing Mr. Malone. All right, well, now we turn to listener comments and feedback. Jason comments on Facebook, we listen regularly to your podcast at home as well as back and forth from work. Thanks for the great shows, Adam. Keep up the good work. All right, well, thank you very much. Well, we're going to be back tomorrow. And we'll, with Let George Do It. Be sure to listen. We'll be talking about changes we'll make on Wednesday. Some of them we talked about yesterday with Johnny Dollar. But listen on Wednesday and we'll let you know about a couple additional changes will come to Wednesday. So be sure and be listening then. Well, I do want to thank those who are supporting our listener support campaign. I want to thank Laura and also John. And I do want to encourage you. You can go to support.greatdetectives.net and support the campaign. Everyone giving $7 or more gets access to our premium site, per usual. However, those who give a donation of $20 or more receive a special extra thank you gift. They get a free digital copy of my ebook, All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo. In addition to that, they also get their choice of several great digital gifts. And I'll highlight a couple of them. At the $50 level, as I mentioned before, we're getting to the end of Let George Do It. And we'll talk a little more about what we're going to be doing on Wednesday for that. But what I wanted to mention is you can get more Let George Do It with some of the gifts we're doing. At the $50 level, we have a gift certificate to radioarchives.com that's good for one of their high-quality download sets, one of the smaller sets, and one of those that you can get with the gift certificate is Let George Do It. And that includes 2 episodes that we're not able to bring you. And then at the $100 level, you can pick up either Volume 1 or Volume 4 of their Let George Do It collection, which is chock full of episodes that we couldn't bring you in high audio quality that's just not available among the existing circulating exemplars. So you can take a look at the full list of everything at support.greatdetectives.net. But now it's time for today's episode of Let George Do It, The Last Payoff.
Personal notice, Stange is my stock and trade. If the job's too tough for you to handle, you got a job for me, George Valentine. Write full details.
Standard Oil Company of California invites you to Let George Do It. In just a moment, we'll begin tonight's adventure of George Valentine. Say, did you forget a Christmas present for your car?
One of the nicest gifts I know is a complete changeover to new RPM motor oil, the oil that doubles engine life between major overhauls due to lubrication. Don't forget to replace the filter element, too. You'll be giving yourself a gift of smoother driving and top engine protection all year round by getting new RPM motor oil at independent Chevron gas stations or standard stations where they say and mean, we take better care of your car. And now, tonight's story, The Last Payoff, another adventure of George Valentine.
Hey, who did this? What in the... The whole room is torn apart. Why? Who? What are they trying to do to me? What's that guy's name again? Valdez... Valentine. That's it. George Valentine.
Okay, Bartell. Stop shaking. So somebody ransacked your place here.
And yet you say nothing was taken.
Yeah, that's right, Miss Brooks.
Well?
Well, don't you understand? It's why did anybody take this place apart? What are they trying to do to me?
What do you mean, do to you?
I can't afford any trouble. I'm an ex-con.
Oh, a little matter you forgot to mention when you wrote to me, eh, Buster?
Yeah, I forgot. Isn't that terrible? I figured I'm entitled to get a little help like any other human being. Wasn't that a lot of nerve for me to think that?
Okay. Skip the dramatics. What were you in jail for?
I stole a car. Got drunk and stole a car. It was my second offense. Spent 18 months in the pen. So I figured I'd find me a small town somewhere and make a new start.
Why this particular small town, Linfield?
Because I knew someone here. Someone I thought might give me a hand.
Clear that up, will you?
Man, my wife and I met in Chicago. That's where I come from. Big fat guy. Nice. Good connections. John Logan. We hit it off fine. Said if I ever needed help, I should look him up.
I suppose your wife is here with you.
You suppose wrong, lady. She left me flat while I was in jail. She's someplace in Europe, in the chorus line of a girlies show. Ruthie is the loyal kind.
Why make a big mystery of all this? A sneak thief got in here, you surprised him, he knocked you out and ran.
No, that's not the answer, Valentine. Somebody was looking for something special. Looked in every little place. Even went through my pockets when I was dead to the world. Ripped open the lining of my jacket. Look. See?
Uh-huh.
The only thing I own that's worth anything is this wristwatch. It's a good one. But the guy didn't take it, did he? No, it was no sneak thief. But who else could it be? And why?
I don't suppose your landlady noticed any strange men prowling around here.
No. As I figure it, whoever it was climbed in through the window.
Hey, tell me, how long has it been raining hard like this?
Oh, a couple of days now. This time of the year, it always rains in this place, they tell me.
What are you driving at, George?
Those footprints near the window. You're pretty small, Bartell.
That's what I meant. Those aren't my footprints. Must be the man who ransacked my room.
Some kind of red clay. Must have been somewhere where there's red clay.
It's not too much to go on.
No. Say, Bartell, suppose you tell me about this Mr. Logan, the good Samaritan turned sour.
Well, it isn't really like that. I just haven't been able to get a hold of him yet. I spoke to Mrs. Logan a couple of times. She said she'd give him a message.
Do you think he has anything to do with any of this? He seems to be the only one you know here in Linfield.
That's what's driving me batty. I don't know why anybody should be interested in anything I might have.
Tell me, do you think Mr. Logan might be home now?
I don't know. I saw him this morning.
You did?
Yeah, I was on a bus, and it passes the back of his house. I noticed Mr. Logan burning something in the incinerator in his backyard. So I thought, here's my chance to talk to him.
Yeah, go on.
Well, by the time I got off the bus, Mr. Logan was gone. I asked his wife where he went, and she said downtown. I went to his office, figuring I'd just barge in and get to see him once and for all. But he wasn't there. And the girl said she didn't know where he might be.
The elusive Mr. Logan.
I know all this sounds mixed up and not too important, Valentine, but it's important to me. I've got to know what's going on. I want to go straight. I don't want any trouble. I don't have much money, but I'll pay what I can for you to help me.
All right, Bartel, you got me curious. You stay here. Maybe I can find out something.
No, Mr. Valentine. Mr. Reese and I are quite through talking.
Oh, Mrs. Logan, I could wait in the next room.
Oh, no, it's all right, young man. Mrs. Logan is right. Talking doesn't do much good. You will convey my message to Mr. Logan, won't you?
Of course. Although, frankly, I don't understand it.
He'll understand. That's the important thing. And I know he'll listen to you very carefully.
Really?
Oh, you might also tell him I'm a patient man. Very patient. But my patience is wearing thin.
I'll tell him.
I know he'll understand that. Good day. No. I'll let myself out.
Now, where were we before we were interrupted by Mr. Reese?
You assured me you didn't know a thing about that client of mine, Mr. Bartel.
That's right. And I certainly didn't know a thing about his wife, his young, pretty wife, as I gather now.
Mm-hmm. So, that's that, I guess.
Surely, Mr. Valentine, if you really want to know about Mr. Bartel, our local police will help you. Our sheriff is a very efficient man.
Well, as a matter of fact, my assistant, Miss Brooks, is checking that angle. I asked her to call me back here, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
You have no idea where Mr. Logan might be right now?
Oh, yes.
Hmm?
He's out buying a raincoat.
A raincoat?
Well, he was simply soaked when he got to the office this morning, so I told him I wasn't going to have him come down with a cold or worse. So he's out buying a raincoat.
I see.
Would you like a cup of tea, Mr. Valentine? If you're going to wait.
No, thanks. Don't bother.
I'm afraid I'm a very poor hostess. But I have been rather upset.
Really?
I know it can't possibly matter to you, but Mr. Logan has been so, well, not himself lately, so nervous. I know it's ridiculous because money is no problem with us. But now he seems to be worried about owing people money. People like Mr. Reese. This is one time he won't listen to me, talk to me about it. Perhaps I could help. I'm sorry.
Tell you what. Maybe we will have that cup of tea. It might cheer up both of us. And this constant rain might be good to have a cup of...
Excuse me. Hello?
Hello. May I speak to Mr. Valentine, please? This is Claire Brooks.
Of course. Just a minute. It's for you, Mr. Valentine.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, Brooksy, did you find anything about our friend Bartel?
No, George. I'm afraid the police are in too much of a dither to be much help.
Dither? What are you talking about?
Most of them are down at the only place in town where there's clay.
What?
That's right, red clay. And, George, there's been a murder there.
The car's parked right over there, George.
I didn't want to talk in front of Mrs. Logan, but tell me more about the murder. Who is the victim?
Police don't know yet. A weasel-faced little man who was seen coming here to Linfield every month or so for almost a year.
Yeah?
Very interesting thing, George. There were some footprints leading away from the clay pits. Large footprints.
Oh, a ransacking friend, maybe, huh?
Could be. Oh, there was something else.
Oh, what?
Some woman walking in the street a couple of 100 yards away from the clay pits was scared by a man hurrying away from there. A big fat man in a dark blue raincoat, she said. Or at least that's what a boy who runs a service station not far from there reported.
Uh-huh. Come on.
Come on, where?
This way.
But that goes to Logan's backyard. George, what?
I'm playing a long shot, Angel.
Ooh.
Careful with the puddles. Bartel told us he saw Mr. Logan burning something in the incinerator this morning, didn't he?
Well, yes.
And Logan is a big man, and his wife told me he's buying a new raincoat this morning. Well, what happened to his old one?
Oh, there's the incinerator over there.
Yeah, now wait. Here's some kind of a poker. Yeah, this'll do.
You see anything, George?
Everything pretty well burned to ashes. Everything seemed...
What is it?
Well, it's a piece of metal. Belt buckle. Still covered with some cloth. Blue cloth. That's it, all right. Logan burned his dark blue raincoat.
I thought you wanted to go to the police station. I told you before it's down the other block.
I know, but I'm still playing that long shot.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Just be patient, please, Angel. That clothing store down there, Wilson's. That looks like the largest one in town.
All right, I agree. But what does that
Let's
have to...
pass it just once again, and then we'll...
All right, so you can stop on a dime. Now what?
That big fat man just coming out in a brand new yellow raincoat.
Mr. Logan?
I wouldn't be surprised. Stay here, Angel. I still have a client, remember? I want to talk to Logan before we stick the police on him.
Now, George, be careful with him.
Sure, okay. Mr. Logan? Mr. Logan, wait a minute. Hey, please, wait.
What do you want? I don't know you.
Well, the name's George Valentine.
Never heard of you. Please, I'm in a hurry. I'm very busy.
I came to Linfield because a man named Bartell wrote to me.
What? I'll kill you. I'll kill you with my bare hands.
Now, take it easy, friend. You're out of your class.
What else do you want from me? Haven't you done enough?
Huh?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I just want some straight answers to a few questions, that's all. We can talk right there in that car.
Oh.
Look at your shoes, Mr. Logan.
What?
There are still traces of red clay on them, see?
No.
I want to talk to you about a clay pit. And murder, Mr. Logan. Now will you come along?
Yes. Yes, I'll go with you. I must talk to somebody. Anybody. Please talk to me. Help me. Please help me.
In just a moment, we'll return to tonight's adventure of George Valentine. Over the hills and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. That's a well-known saying that has always been appropriate during the holiday season. This year, perhaps you'll be one of the many thousands of Western motorists who'll be driving home for Christmas and New Year's, driving over the hills and through the woods. That's why I think this is an especially good time to remind you that for top performance under all driving conditions, for the kind of driving you do, where you do it, your car needs a gasoline with many different performance qualities. Any gasoline can be made to stress one performance feature at the expense of others, but Chevron Supreme is designed to give you not one, not two, but all 8 high-performance qualities in correct balance. Power, warm-up, starting, mileage, anti-knock, vapor lock prevention, acceleration, and area blending. You'll feel the difference from the very first tankful of Chevron Supreme. For smoother, all-around top performance, be sure to get the gas that gives you all 8. Just drive in and say, fill her up with Chevron Supreme at any standard station or independent Chevron gas station where they say and mean, we take better care of your car. Ex-convict, Ray Bartell, pleads that he's trying to go straight. Hires you to find out who ransacked his room and why. Only the case is complicated by the murder of a man the police haven't been able to identify, and the fact that the leading suspect is one of the town's leading citizens, John Logan. And as you sit with him in your car on a rain-swept street, you know he's close to the breaking point. That is, if your name is George Valentine.
If you're sort of a private detective, Mr. Valentine, then you're just what I may need. And you, Miss Brooks, you seem so understanding. It's been so long since I could really talk to anybody.
Please, Mr. Logan, you must calm down.
Now, Mrs. Logan is a fine woman. Fine and good, but I couldn't talk to her, not after what I've done to her.
Now, look, we're not going to get anywhere until you get hold of yourself and tell us what happened in some sort of order.
Things happen in life in any order. Do they make any sense?
Mr. Logan, you were seen leaving the clay pits. Your footprints there were photographed by the police.
Don't you understand? I didn't kill Joe. When I got there, Joe was already dead.
Oh, so that was the name of the murdered man. The police were unable to identify him.
Joe, that was the only name he ever gave me. You'd think for all the money he got from me, he'd at least give me his full name. Joe, the collector. Joe, the tormentor. Joe.
Cut that out, Mr. Logan.
Joe. Yes, I'm sorry.
All right, then. When did you first meet this Joe, whoever he is?
And I first made such a fool of myself over Ruthie.
Ruthie Bartell?
I have no excuse for being a fool, but I also have suffered enough so I don't have to be kicked around anymore.
Where does Joe fit in?
Well, you see, back in those days, I saw Joe following me around, and I realized that somebody had snapped a picture of Ruthie and me. I was sure that Joe was a detective hired by my wife. Of course, I stopped seeing Ruthie. I died 1,000 deaths waiting for the showdown.
But it never came, huh? Not from Mrs. Logan, is that it?
Yes, I was wrong about who we worked for, you see, because then I got a blackmail note presented to me by Joe. I was to pay and go on paying each month.
And you paid and paid.
What else could I do? I was already a failure as far as my wife is concerned. I didn't tell her, but I made bad, stupid deals, and I gambled money away with that Carl Reese.
Reese?
Yeah. Best I could only pay back half my debts, but if Mrs. Logan, Martha, found out about Ruthie, she'd never forgive me. I couldn't let her know that, don't you see?
Well, didn't you suspect Bartell, Ruthie's husband?
I did, but by then he was in prison. I didn't know what to think. And I decided Joe was the only blackmailer. I can't let Martha find out about Ruthie. The police mustn't tie me to any of this. They mustn't.
I'm afraid that's sort of wishful thinking, Mr. Logan.
What?
They'll find out that you just bought this new raincoat, that you burned your old one, and they'll be curious, to say the least. You went right from the clay pits to Bartell's, ransacked his room looking for the blackmail evidence, whatever that was. Isn't that right?
Yes. You see, Joe got in touch with me yesterday afternoon. I thought I was all through paying him. He promised me I was, but you're never through, are you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Logan.
Told me to come out to that little shack in the clay pits. That's where the payoff always took place out there. And when I got there, he was dead. Shot to death.
What did you do?
Oh, well, I suddenly realized just what an awful spot I was in. Bartell was trying to contact me. Perhaps he was the blackmailer after all. So I had to find the evidence before the police found it.
And did you find it at Bartell's place?
No, not a trace of it. It wasn't on him either. Mr. Valentine, what can I do? How can I get out of this terrible mess?
I'm afraid there's only one thing you can do. Turn yourself over to the police and have the whole thing brought out into the open.
I can't. Martha will never believe me. She'll never forgive me.
George, look. There's a policeman coming over this way.
What's that? Now, they'll never get me.
Be reasonable, Logan.
They won't.
Hey,
don't
stop that. Wait.
Stop me, don't.
I'll get him.
No, George, the police will catch him.
Hey, wait.
Sorry, officer, I can't.
Hey, stop, I said.
You don't understand. That man will get away.
Yeah, but you're not getting away. You think that sign is just there for amusement? You overparked here 10 minutes, Mac. Have a ticket.
Don't worry, Valentine. The pickup order is out on Logan. He seems to be our man, all right.
Was there any additional information about this man, Joe, Sheriff?
Not much. Typical blackmailer, shifty, covered his tracks.
Anything on the gun?
We'll know when we find it. 38. 2 bullets fired.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Where are you going, George?
The sheriff's got his murder, but we still have a client, remember?
Gone.
Yeah.
Bartell's gone.
If he beat it, it was just a minute ago.
What?
Yeah, the light bulb is still warm. It must have been just turned off.
But where would...
Okay, Bartell, slow down.
No. Let go of me. I'm not sticking around, Valentine. This place is too hot.
Blackmailer, you mean?
What?
Never heard the naughty word before, huh? Okay, it has to do with Ruthie and Logan.
Ruthie? You mean that little... And Logan? Well, I don't know anything about it. You're not going to get me in the middle of it. Nobody will.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Try again. Buster! And you're going to the Logan home with me, friend, after we pick up one more passenger.
Yes, I'm a gambler. Is there anything wrong with being a gambler?
Well, let's leave that to the Kefauver Committee, Reese. But Mr. Logan owed you a large gambling debt, didn't he?
As a matter of fact, he did.
He didn't pay it, huh?
Not yet.
Uh-huh. I think we'd better take a little trip to the Logans, Mr. Reese. This whole thing needs some clear light thrown on it.
He's gone. He's running from the police. But where is he running?
Here, Mrs. Logan. Please drink some of this coffee. Bartell and Reese are in the living room with one of the sheriff's men.
All right, Angel. We'll wait for the sheriff before we talk any more to him.
Thank you, my dear. I wish I could cry like other women. Cry for John and cry for me. Cry because I must have failed him so awfully. He couldn't come to me and talk to me.
You have no idea where he might have gone, Mrs. Logan?
No.
In the state of mind he was in, it would be better if the police knew where he was.
He came in and he told me all he's done about that Mrs. Bartell and all the money he'd paid in blackmail and all the money he owes. As though money were the most important thing in the world. He told me all that and he cried. Mr. Valentine, John isn't a murderer. That much I know.
I hope you're right.
I told him not to run, but he wouldn't listen to me. He packed his bag and he kissed me and he ran out. If they catch up with him and he tries to get away from them, they'll...
All right, Mrs. Logan. The evidence against your husband is quite strong, but maybe we can still help him. Maybe...
Help? Do you think we can? Really?
Joe was a blackmailer. Mr. Logan was being blackmailed. The obvious conclusion was that there was a fight and Mr. Logan killed him.
Well then, George?
But suppose Mr. Logan was right, and Joe was only the go-between, and Joe proved difficult to his employer, the real blackmailer.
But who could that be? How could we ever find that out?
Well, it could be Bartell. Even though he was in prison, he could have kept in contact with Joe.
And all this business about coming here to get a job and going straight is so many lies.
Maybe you're right, Mr. Valentine.
Or perhaps it was even somebody like Mr. Reese who's the real blackmailer.
Mr. Reese?
Aren't you reaching a little now, George?
Oh, why? Mr. Logan had quite a bit of money, all right, but not enough to pay all his legal debts and his gambling debt, which, by the way, couldn't be collected legally. So Mr. Reese could take a rather unorthodox but effective way of collecting his debt by blackmailing the money out of your husband, Mrs. Logan.
And there could be others then who might possibly be the blackmailers. John wouldn't be the only one with the motive for killing Joe.
That's exactly what I meant.
Why bring me here, Sheriff?
Never mind.
John.
They've caught up with him, George.
Well, this is it, Brooksy.
All right, Logan. Just sit here.
John, are you all right?
Didn't do it. I didn't kill anybody. No one will believe me.
He already told me about his being blackmailed, and he was running. And that makes him as good a suspect as we need, Valentine.
At this point, I don't know myself what to think.
John, you mustn't say that.
You can leave that valise here, Logan. You won't need it anymore. No, wait.
What?
You were holding on to that valise for dear life. There was no money on the dead blackmailer. Here, let me see what's in it. Ties, rose shirts, underwear, pajamas, socks, extra suit. All nice and neat. And under it, bedroom slippers and...
And what?
And a gun.
What?
Gun?
A .38, 2 bullets missing.
No. John, there must be some awful mistake.
I have an idea. We'll find the gun is the one that killed Joe. And then...
And then... It'll put the final coffin nail in the case against you, Miss Logan.
George! What did you say, Mr. Valentine?
Yes, you, Mrs. Logan. Your husband was so afraid you might find out about him and Mrs. Bartell, and still it was you who blackmailed him.
How can you say anything like that, George? Why would she do it?
Well, now, that's 2 questions, Angel, and I think I have some pretty definite answers to both.
Well, come on, let's have them.
What's all this?
Well, strangely enough, Sheriff, it's what you said about the valise when you opened it that intrigued me even more than the presence of the gun.
What's that? Will you make sense?
All right, Mr. Logan is a man. More than that, a very upset and distraught man.
Yeah.
Would he stop to pack the valise so carefully? No, he'd just throw some things together. Yeah, a woman packed that bag. She wanted you to run, Mr. Logan.
You're insane.
Think back, Mr. Logan. You didn't really pack that bag, now did you?
Well, I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't.
And since Mrs. Logan had the gun to put in, she's the one who used it on Joe, the man she hired as the go-between.
Any more proof, Valentine?
A woman identified the fat man running away from the clay pits as wearing a dark blue raincoat.
So what? Logan himself admitted he was there.
How could you tell the color in the dark?
That's right. And it was raining. It would just look black.
Only one woman could say what she did. The wife who knew the color of the raincoat her husband wore. And the reason you were out there, Mrs. Logan, is because you had that argument with Joe and you killed him.
Make him stop saying that, John, please.
No, let him go on.
I was wondering why you were so careful to point attention to your husband having to buy a new raincoat.
But what would be the motive, Valentine? A wife blackmailing her own husband?
Oh, we've discussed some unusual causes for blackmail before, haven't we, Mrs. Logan? And you understood very well. A little matter of revenge.
Your husband failed you, squandered your money, played around. And you had to get your revenge. And you did. Made his life a hell.
Martha, you didn't. Tell them you didn't.
And you got most of the money, too, didn't you? But you killed Joe. And in desperation tried to blame your husband for his murder, and you almost succeeded.
Martha, don't let him go on saying...
And now that we know what to look for, we'll find the money, Mrs. Logan, and then...
Stop!
Martha.
Stop looking at me like that. You cheat. You silly fool. I'm glad. Whatever torture I brought you, I'm glad you understand. I hate you. Hate
you. George, there isn't any reason to stay here any longer. A house can be so cold when hate has lived in it.
Yeah, Brooksy, we're going. I still have to straighten out something with my client.
Holiday time is Jingle Bell time, and a good time to remind you that new RPM motor oil doubles engine life between major overhauls due to lubrication, and more than meets the heavy-duty motor oil requirements of every car manufacturer. New RPM helps cut unnecessary repair bills and puts the jingle back in your pocket where it belongs. Get new RPM motor oil for your car at independent Chevron gas stations and standard stations where they say and mean, we take better care of your car.
An apology?
Yeah. Frankly, Bartell, I didn't buy that. I want to go straight, but somebody won't let me routine.
But then why did you go to work for me?
Mr. Valentine just has a deep aversion to being led down the garden path.
Yep. Life is full of surprises, all right. You did come to Linfield just to see a kindly friend of the family.
Yeah. Ruthie was a doll, a real doll. But then look at Mrs. Logan, what she did to her husband. I tell you, I learned one thing.
Huh?
Stay away from women, friend. All women. Far away.
You don't say.
Have nothing to do with them, especially those that look cute and smile sweet.
Are you coming, George?
What's the matter, Angel? He doesn't mean you.
No, of course not.
Well, that's different. Hey, wait a minute. What's the matter with my smile?
Tonight's adventure of George Valentine has been brought to you by Standard Oil Company of California on behalf of independent Chevron gas stations and standard stations throughout the West. Robert Bailey is starred as George with Virginia Gregg as Brooksy. Let George Do It was written by David Victor and Jackson Gillis and directed by Kenneth Webb. Lee Patrick was heard as Mrs. Logan, Kenny Ross as Logan, Byron Kane as Bartell, Hal K. Dawson as Reese, and Joe Forte as the sheriff. The music is composed and presented by Eddie Dunstetter. Your announcer, John Heaston. Listen again next week, same time, same station, to Let George Do It. Let George Do It is heard overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, kind of a melodramatic end, but still, I think overall a solid story. As usual, they, twist the story in pretzels, from what you thought it was by the end of the show. All right, well, we do turn now to letting you know what's going to be coming to Wednesday. Now, we announced on Monday what our Wednesday night was going to look like. And when we said, we're going to have Johnny, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. However, There are a couple of the serials, Johnny Dollar serials, that we're going to play where there are missing episodes. You can still get what happens in the story. They do a pretty good job of recapping what's happened in previous parts. But there are some where there are only 4 parts in existence. So for those episodes, we'll play kind of a one-shot series on Wednesday. And then we'll have 2 episodes of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, on Monday, 2 on Friday, in those rare instances. We'll have a couple of those occurrences happen this season. So I can announce that the 2 episodes, the 2 series will show will be Miss Pinkerton Incorporated and the Johnny Fletcher. So those will be coming to you in addition to the Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar serials. All right, well, that will do it for today. Join us back here tomorrow for Sherlock Holmes, and next week another episode of Let George Do It. And I want to thank those sending along donations to Christine and also to James. Thank you so much for your support. And I encourage you to, if you'd like to support our listener support campaign, support.greatdetectives.net. All donations of $7 or more receive access to our premium site. All donations of $20 or more will receive a special bonus gift as well, including a copy of my ebook, All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo, for free, as well as a digital media download. We have a lot of choices. One of my favorite are the Zorro radio plays from Colonial Radio Theater, Zorro and the Pirate Raiders. Also some great adventure with King Solomon's Mines. And there are many other choices available. Go to support.greatdetectives.net for a list of all of our main options. We also have a link you can click to view a complete list. And thank you so much for your support of our efforts and the time and energy we put into the program. All right, well, now it's time for today's episode of Sherlock Holmes. This one is called The Case of the Well-Advertised Murder.
7 o'clock by the Longines Presentation Watch. The finest watch ever offered under the Longines banner.
From New York City, the makers of Clippercraft clothes for men and more than 1,200 leading retail stores from coast to coast present Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's immortal character, the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes, starring John Stanley. This week's adventure, the case of the well-advertised murder.
By Jove, Holmes, there's Park Road and it's blocked. Our carriage can't pass.
Quite so, Watson. The road's being repaired. Turn around, driver. We will have to take the long way around.
It'll cost us quite a bit of time, Holmes.
Yes, and meanwhile, Christine Blakely is alone with her husband. And he hasn't the remotest notion that she means to kill him at any moment.
Do you mind if I take a moment, Mr. Holmes, to tell our listeners that Clippercraft clothes are priced like sale merchandise?
Just a second, Mr. Harris. My name is Behrens, and I like sales as well as the next guy. But how about the quality of these Clippercraft clothes?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Mr. Behrens, because Clippercraft quality is superb. Luxuriously tailored, of really fine, long-wearing fabrics, and only $40 and $45. Imagine this. A truly expensive-looking Clippercraft worsted suit costs only $45.
Well, how come? That doesn't seem reasonable to me.
Well, you see, Mr. Behrens, more than 1,200 of America's fine independent stores combine their purchasing power. That makes for enormous savings in production and distribution.
Well, granted, but I want to see before I buy. Where do I see these Clippercraft clothes?
Right in your own community at the friendly independent store that sells Clippercraft suits and topcoats and overcoats, too. Just you compare Clippercraft with clothes selling for many dollars more.
Thanks, I will. I like good clothes, but I like to save money, too.
Dr. Watson, you've called this adventure with Mr. Holmes the case of the well-advertised murder, but who on earth would want to advertise a murder?
Ah, Mr. Harris, the medium of advertising was not quite what one might expect. It was 1902. We medical men were just breaking fresh ground on the problem of mental disorder. It was late afternoon at the office of Dr. John Kemmel. The doctor's nurse, Patricia, was announcing a patient.
Mrs. Richard Blakely to see you, Doctor. I filled out a card for her.
Oh, do bring her in, Patricia.
Yes, Doctor. This way, please, Mrs. Blakely. Thank you.
Sit down, Mrs. Blakely. That's it. Now, what seems to be disturbing you?
Doctor, I realize that medical ethics require the presence of your nurse, but this is so confidential. Might we be alone?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. The nurse must remain. Patricia's a very understanding girl, Mrs. Blakely.
Dr. Campbell and I have worked together for many years, ma'am, on every conceivable type of case, so you needn't feel embarrassed.
Go on, Mrs. Blakely.
Well, I haven't an ordinary illness. I have an illness, I should say, of the mind. Oh, Doctor, I haven't got the courage to speak of this, to face it.
Won't you try? I can't help you if you won't try, Mrs. Blakely.
Very well, I'll try. I'm Mrs. Richard Blakely.
Notes, Patricia.
Yes, Doctor.
My marriage to Richard was a marriage of impulse. I became infatuated with him. Richard was handsome and well-bred and gallant. He was my Lochinvar come out of the West. Of course, after a few years of marriage, the first ecstasy died. The inevitable erosion of time began. Our marriage assumed the standard pattern of inertia, and I grew bored. And then I grew to dislike Richard. Doctor, I can't bring myself to say this.
Now, please try, Mrs. Blakely. I'm sure you can.
I disliked Richard in a petty way. It was a desire to avoid him more than anything else. He traveled because of business. I'd hoped he'd be delayed, giving me more time without him. I began filling the house with guests so that we shouldn't be alone.
How did your husband react to this?
Oh, he became irritated. Richard is jealous and possessive. He wants to be with me constantly. Then I thought of a divorce.
Uh-huh. And what did you decide?
Oh, it would be hopeless. He'd never grant one. Besides, even if I succeeded, he'd follow me and haunt me and use every device imaginable to bring me back.
Now, why have you come to see a physician?
Well, I began reading about the new theories of that doctor in Vienna, Sigmund Freud.
Ah, yes, an astounding development. Brilliant craftsman of the human psyche.
I became obsessed with what sort of demons might be lurking in my own unconscious.
You shouldn't be alarmed, Mrs. Blakely. Each of us has skeletons in the closet whose rattling is sometimes terrifying.
Well, perhaps you can dismiss it, Doctor, but I can't. I've made a horrible discovery about myself.
What is it, Mrs. Blakely?
I want to kill my husband.
Really?
That's why I've come to you. I'm afraid of going out of my mind. I've read every word of Freud's. I have the symptoms. I've constant headaches and pressure at the back of my head and sudden palpitations of the heart. I can't sleep and my hands tremble. They're abnormally cold, and I find myself exhausted suddenly for no apparent reason.
You haven't been exerting yourself physically?
No.
Shall I prepare for a physical examination, Doctor?
In a moment, Patricia. Mrs. Blakely, this desire to murder your husband. Tell me more about it, can you?
Well, in the morning, when he's having his breakfast coffee, I think how easily I might poison the cup. And when we're in the underground, I think how simple it would be to push him before the train and say it was an accident. I'm on the road to insanity, Doctor. There's no doubt of it. And always, after I think of murdering Richard, I have spells. Breathing is difficult for me. I feel faint.
Now, easy, Mrs. Blakely, easy.
Must be something you can do. I mustn't go through with this awful thing.
Bromide, Patricia, in hot water immediately.
Yes, Doctor.
Mrs. Blakely, have you told your husband of this?
Oh, no. He'd ridicule me. I couldn't tolerate that. I'm losing my sanity, Doctor. I shall be a hideous, gibbering creature tied to a bedpost in Coney Hatch or Bedlam.
Mrs. Blakely, We medical men still have pitiable spears with which to fight the dragon of insanity. But I shall try. I shall do everything possible to help you.
I've had even more ghastly thoughts, Dr. Campbell. I've thought killing him just once wouldn't satisfy me. I've had a lust to take a knife and plunge it into his body over and over and over.
You sent Mrs. Blakely home, Dr. Campbell?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. I administered a bromide and told her to go home and rest. I didn't want to strain her any further today.
Very advisable indeed.
She had no idea you were coming to see me.
Oh, no, none whatsoever. I'm shocked you should think I would tell Mrs. Hall. The woman is infinitely ashamed of this fear that possesses her.
And immediately after you packed her off, you came here to Baker Street?
Well, I made just one stop, to see a patient at Upper Gloucester Place. I've a confession, Mr. Holmes.
Oh?
I've come to tell you about this case as fast as I could because the great psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud of Vienna is attracting a great deal of attention. But we doctors are still quite helpless in the face of mental aberration. You agree, Dr. Watson?
Unquestionably. You see, Freud has opened a door for our profession, but we've years of research ahead.
I thought you might advise me, Mr. Holmes. It's so dangerous a situation.
Yes. Dr. Campbell, are you at all familiar with Mrs. Blakely's home? Her family, her husband, perhaps?
Oh, no. This afternoon was the first time I'd ever seen or heard of Christine Blakely. Oh, tragic figure, that woman. I wouldn't admit it to her, but I do believe she's on the verge of losing her mind.
And of murdering her husband. You've been shockingly careless, Doctor. Fetch your things, Watson.
I've what?
Where are we off to, Holmes?
Mrs. Blakely's house. Immediately.
Well, I wouldn't disturb her now, Mr. Holmes. She's so distracted. Now, perhaps tomorrow
No, we must see her tonight. She must be removed from the house before she has further opportunities for murdering Richard Blakely. As a matter of fact, we've lost precious time already. Where is Mrs. Blakely's residence, Dr. Campbell?
Across Regent's Park, St. James Terrace.
We'll fetch a carriage and hurry over.
Well, the quickest way is by Park Road, past Hanover Gate.
Right you are, Dr. Watson.
I'm ready, Holmes.
Then quickly, gentlemen, quickly.
Where were you this afternoon, Christine?
Richard, if you're going to assume that impossible role of prosecuting attorney again,
Where were you?
Shopping.
You're lying.
I was shopping. Now, will you finish your dinner? The roast will be cold.
Tell me the truth.
If you don't stop persecuting
Were you
me...
with a man?
Richard.
Christine, I know you so well. You're the cool, statuesque mistress of the household. But in your heart of hearts, you're a cheap, scheming little...
You foul mouth!
Does it please you to slap my face? Does it add to your feeling of superiority? Sit out, Christine. I know what you really are.
Well, then why don't you do what any man with pride would do and get out? Or let me get out?
No. You're going to stay here. You're going to go on living with me. I'd never let you wander off. You're the prisoner of St. James Terrace. It's humiliating and unbearable to you, and that is just what I want. It delights me to have this tigress caged and restless in my home.
Richard, this endless battling is so absurd. Can't we stop it? We're so weak. Perhaps we should go away together to some spot we knew when we first met.
You think so? But I'm never sure whether you're being sincere or if you're just play-acting to amuse yourself.
No, I'm not play-acting. Oh, let's talk sensibly. I'll sit back and relax and enjoy your dinner, and then we'll stroll in the park and we'll talk. Good, sensible talk.
All right, Christine. I'll try.
That's better. Now, let me cut a fresh piece of that roast for you. Hand me the carving knife, will you?
By Jove, Holmes, there's Park Road. And look, it's blocked.
Quite so, Watson. It's being repaired.
You see the sign? It's blocked as far as Hanover Gate.
We shall have to turn about, Mr. Holmes. We'll have to take Marylebone Road to York Gate and cross the park on the outer circle.
Yes, Dr. Campbell. Turn around, driver. Make for Marylebone Road. Hurry.
It'll cost us quite a bit of time, confound it.
Yes, and meanwhile, Christine Blakely is alone with her husband. And he has the remotest notion that she means to kill him at any moment.
There you are, Richard. I've cut a very tempting piece of the roast for you.
You can be considerate, Christine. And I do appreciate the rare moments when you are. Now put down the carving knife. You'll cut yourself.
I've given a great deal of thought to us, Richard.
Of course.
I've made a decision.
You have, Christine? What is it? What is it, Christine?
I can only be happy.
Yes?
I can only be happy if...
If what?
If you're dead. If you're dead, if you're dead, if you're dead! I feel much better now, Richard. I feel much better now.
Mrs. Blakely, good Lord. We're too late, Dr. Campbell.
Holmes, don't tell me this.
Oh. Mrs. Blakely.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Campbell. You must recognize me. You visited my office late this afternoon.
Apparently she's lost all sense of orientation.
Mrs. Blakely, you do know who I am, do you not?
I've never seen you before. I've never seen any of you before. I know who the gentleman is lying on the floor, though. That's my husband. He's dead. I killed him. With this knife. The knife is still in my hand, dripping his blood. That's the way I wanted it. I feel much better now.
I'm afraid she's gone mad, Mr. Holmes. I'll fetch her things. I must turn her over to the police immediately. For her coat. It's in this cupboard.
We hope the police won't detain her for long. Miserable creature. She should be turned over to a mental hospital.
Now come, Mrs. Blakely. You must come with us.
I must come with you?
Yes. You see, we must notify the authorities. Holmes, what are you doing with the body?
Examining it, Watson, obviously.
Yes, the police will tend to that. They tend to all the details.
There's one detail that may escape them, my dear Watson. One amazing, bloody detail.
Look, Mr. Barons, let's hold that detail a minute. I'd like to talk to you some more.
About Clippercraft clothes? Why, say, you've already sold me.
But did I tell you about the
You mean
fact
how
that...
over 1,200 fine independent stores from coast to coast gang up their buying power?
Yes, and combine on manufacturing and distribution so that they can give values that are simply fabulous.
Sure, I know. That's why Clippercraft top coats and overcoats look so expensive.
But actually, Clippercraft top coats and overcoats only cost $40 to $47.50.
Oh, I was coming to that. They're a terrific buy. Zipper lining top coats and those smart Clippercraft overcoats.
You've really got to see them to believe they're only $40 to $47.50.
That's why men who know insist on Clippercraft clothes. So be sure to visit the Clippercraft store in your city.
These leading stores in the metropolitan area are proud to add their names to Clippercraft in your suits, top coats, and overcoats. In Manhattan, John Wanamaker Men's Stores, Broadway at 8th and 67 Liberty Street. Saks 34th, Broadway at 34th. In Brooklyn, Abraham and Strauss. In Newark, New Jersey, Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge Newark. And in Jamaica, the B&B Clothes Shop, 16408 Jamaica Avenue.
Well, Dr. Watson, we're terribly anxious to learn what the astonishing detail was that Mr. Holmes thought might escape the police.
Yes, of course, Mr. Harris. Well, Sir, Holmes, as usual, refused to elaborate at that point. We notified the police. They removed Richard Blakely's body. Mrs. Blakely, now clearly deranged, was conducted to a prison cell. There was a careful investigation. Finally, she was committed to Bedlam, that awful asylum for the insane in Kent. You know, I'd regarded the case as a simple tragedy that had moved to its inevitable end. But not Holmes. He paid a visit to Mrs. Blakely in her room at Bedlam.
Although we've met, Mrs. Blakely, you won't recognize me. I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. Yes, they mentioned your name to me. I don't seem to recall what your profession was, Mr. Holmes. I frankly don't recall who you are other than the name.
Mine is the profession of criminal detection, Mrs. Blakely.
You're with the police?
Not at all. I function entirely upon my own. I have no official position, no staff. I've no weapons, other than my brains. A more than satisfactory arsenal, I find.
And is there something I can do for you, Mr. Holmes?
I have an insatiate curiosity, Mrs. Blakely. I wanted to inquire further about your husband's death.
Well, really, unless this is absolutely necessary.
I merely wanted to ask if you could recall the exact sequence of events, beginning with the moment when you returned to your home after leaving Dr. Campbell's office.
Oh, please don't ask me to do that. I'll become ill again. Why do you ask that question?
Simply my own desire to understand every crime in which I'm involved. The last minute design of the grotesque pattern.
Well, I really don't remember much. When I came home, all sorts of thoughts ran through my mind. My visit to Dr. Campbell that afternoon, the fact that he was on the way with you, but that I could defeat everyone by killing Richard then and there. Oh, please, unless it's most urgent, I can't reenact that awful night. I just can't.
Very well, Mrs. Blakely. I regret disturbing you.
I thought they were finished with me. I thought they'd allow me to rest. You're like desert birds picking ghoulishly at the dead. It's over, and it had best be forgotten.
Had it, Mrs. Blakely?
Oh, I'm pleased that you dropped by to my office, Mr. Holmes.
Are you, Dr. Campbell?
Yes, I was afraid that after the Blakely case had ended, our acquaintance might end with it.
I hardly thought so, Doctor.
Oh, sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
Is there some matter on which I may be of assistance, or is this just a social call?
I do not pay social calls, Doctor. My time is much too valuable to be dissipated upon the amenities of more conventional men.
Then what is wrong, Mr. Holmes?
I've just come from a visit to Mrs. Blakely at the hospital.
Oh, how is she?
Just as sane as ever.
I don't quite know what you mean.
Mrs. Blakely is just as sane as ever. She never was insane, Doctor.
Oh, that's fantastic. I refuse to believe it, sir.
Mrs. Blakely has been presenting the world with a melodramatic performance simulating insanity. A performance that proved most convincing to everyone. Except to me.
If you're talking nonsense, Mr. Holmes, I'm a physician. Or you must recognize my ability to judge the symptoms of my patients.
Christine Blakely intended for a long time to do away with her husband. The sudden popularity of Dr. Freud in Vienna gave her just the situation she desired.
Well, what situation?
She required a technique for avoiding the penalties of homicide so that she might be rid of her husband, so that she might ultimately join the man with whom she was secretly in love.
The man with whom she was secretly in love?
Oh, did I neglect to mention that before, Doctor? You're the man, Doctor. You plotted with Christine and helped her to commit the murder.
I warned Christine time and again that you should be our sole concern, Mr. Holmes. She insisted, though. She wanted her insanity well established with someone of unquestionable repute. So I went to you. I've been prepared for you, though.
With that revolver?
Oh, the revolver is merely to detain you, Mr. Holmes. I shan't kill you that way. You shall have a most regrettable heart attack while paying me this visit. You came to consult with me about chest pains. Then you died.
Interesting plan. Of course, consulting you on medical matters would be foolish. I've looked into your background, sir, and it seems you have no legal right to practice. Your title of doctor is pretense. You never earned it.
I've been well prepared for your accusations, Mr. Holmes. Look, in this drawer. This hypodermic contains a drug, an overdose. I shall inject it into your arm. The needle prick is almost invisible. The injection will strain your heart to the bursting point. Most unfortunate. Now, you were saying about Christine.
Oh, yes. She has been conducting a clandestine affair with you. Her late husband traveled on business. You imparted that information to me yourself. While he was away, you visited the Blakely home.
You found evidence to that?
I never indulge in idle conjecture. Of course I have evidence. You and Christine concocted what you believed to was an ingenious idea. You would establish that she was losing her mind. She would publicize the murder in advance. Your nurse was most important.
My nurse?
Yes. You insisted she remain and hear every word of Mrs. Blakely's. She was an indispensable witness. Mrs. Blakely would then kill her husband, plead insanity, be committed to a hospital rather than to the gallows, and within a short time she'd be cured, released, and would join you.
That was the plan, yes.
But you made your first error, Doctor, when you mentioned that you stopped to see a patient at Upper Gloucester Place. That is on Park Road. You couldn't have avoided noticing the road was blocked. Yet, when Watson suggested we dash to the Blakely's via Park Road, you accepted the suggestion. Why, Doctor? Because you were afraid Christine wouldn't have time to kill Richard before he arrived. You wanted the delay at the blocked road.
Excellent, Mr. Holmes. Surprising powers of observation.
When we arrived and found Christine with the body of her husband, you said you'd fetch Mrs. Blakely's things. You knew where they were. You knew the clothes cupboard she used, although you were never supposed to have been to the house before.
I was so right in warning Christine. Now I shall inject this hypodermic. If you resist, I shall be forced to shoot. I'd rather not do that.
Naturally. When I examined the body, sir, I mentioned finding an amazing detail. It was the fact that Christine had killed her husband with surgical precision. It's very difficult to plunge a knife into someone's heart directly without the blades being deflected by the ribs or the chest wall. But hers was masterly strokes. It required some knowledge of anatomy to place the knife so neatly into the center of the heart. It confirmed my previous suspicion. Christine had been coached by someone rather learned in such matters. By you, Dr. Campbell, by you.
May I ask, Mr. Holmes, why you allowed the investigation to proceed?
Because, although the evidence was heavily weighted against you, I do not make accusations unless I am upon extremely firm ground. So, I waited to visit Mrs. Blakely, and she provided me with a final bit of information that I needed.
Did she?
Yes. You told me Mrs. Blakely had no idea that you'd come to see me about her case. You were appalled at my question. But, sir, just a few minutes ago, Mrs. Blakely inadvertently mentioned that the night she killed her husband, she sat in the dining room thinking of the fact that you were on your way with me. Again, undeniable proof that this homicide was carefully prearranged. She knew exactly what you were doing.
A superb series of deductions, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you.
Now we shall have our unavoidable disaster. Your heart attack. Roll up your sleeve, Mr. Holmes. You're forcing me to remind you that at this range, if I pull the trigger of this gun, it'll blow your head off. I've the needle ready. I said roll up your sleeve, Mr. Holmes. I assure you, your death from the drug in this hypodermic will neither be long nor painful.
I'm quite familiar with the effects, Doctor.
Then you must know you will experience a sudden shooting pain. Very short-lived. And then oblivion. Rather a pleasant way to die, I should say. Roll up your sleeve. That's it. Now raise your arm. Raise your arm. I'll just take this needle this way. Find a vein. Clench your fist, Mr. Holmes. Good. Good. Now the needle so.
Drop that needle, Dr. Campbell.
Dr. Watson!
Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard is with me, Doctor.
I'll take that gun, Dr. Campbell.
I began to believe you'd never step inside, Watson. Campbell, give your gun to Inspector Lestrade.
Come on. Come on.
No! No! Oh, my hand!
I'll take that gun. There we are.
I took the precaution, Dr. Campbell, of posting Watson and Lestrade just outside your door. Did you overhear every word, Lestrade?
Every word, Holmes. I'll have plenty to tell him in the courtroom. Police should be very grateful to you, Holmes. Very grateful.
As always, Lestrade. As always. The Persian slipper, Watson. My pipe needs tobacco.
Well, here you are, Holmes. Nothing quite like the armchair here at Baker Street, eh? You know, I've seen in the newspapers that Dr. Campbell, Mrs. Blakely will go on trial next week. Both for premeditated murder.
Excellent. A full-blown trial with a noose in the offing. None of your gentle medical inquiries into the dark recesses of Christine Blakely's mind.
Amazing, Holmes, amazing. The facility with which you take a seemingly clear-cut case of insanity and prove that it was a scientifically outlined murder. By George, you know, there may have been countless other cases that passed unnoticed. And the killer's now scot-free. Conceivable, don't you think, Holmes? A murder that defies cold logic? It is beyond understanding?
I beg to differ, my dear Watson. Any murder that defies explanation just requires time for me to smoke and think. To me, a case that's supposedly beyond human understanding is simply a three-pipe case. Match, please, Watson.
Well, Dr. Watson, the well-advertised murder deserved the attention it received. It was fascinating.
I'm delighted that you enjoyed it, Mr. Harris. And I do believe you'll enjoy the adventure I've planned for next week equally as well. It's an adventure I've called The Island of the Dead. And it concerns the ancestor of one of history's most ruthless pirates, an uncharted, uninhabited island, and a ship with a dead pilot at the wheel.
The makers of Clippercraft clothes and more than 1,200 stores from coast to coast have brought you another in the new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Our stories are based upon the character Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and the program is produced and directed by Basil Loughrane. Sherlock Holmes is played by John Stanley, Dr. Watson by George Spelton. Christine was played by Rita Vale. This week's story was written by Howard Merrill with special music by Albert Berman. If you don't know your Clippercraft dealer, write Clippercraft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Be sure to listen next week to Sherlock Holmes in The Island of the Dead. This is Cy Harris speaking for Clippercraft Clothes. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Next, it's Behind the Front Page with Gabriel Heater. Send your merchandise and Christmas gifts the fast way. Use Eastern Airlines Air Parcel Post Services. Packages up to 70 pounds. Contact your local post office for details.
Welcome back. I'm going to get some emails on this one. This plot seemed, particularly the ending, seemed a little bit contrived. Certainly with Watson and Lestrade outside, there was really no reason for the delay, other than to increase the show's Huber rating with some artificial sort of suspense. And the solution, I did kind of see this coming when we found out she had gone ahead and murdered her husband. Mainly because the episode couldn't be over at this point, and this seemed the most logical conclusion. The Holmes kind of muddle things a bit when he claimed both that, no, you're not really a doctor, and then, yeah, you're an expert medical man who taught her how to surgically stab her husband in the heart. I think the concept was good and interesting. Execution may present the problem here. I did think that the only way I thought that this could have been a case where the doctor really was being straight with Holmes and the audience was if it was like Holmes inexplicably leaving that professor alone, take his daughter out for the weekend after that suspicion that he might commit murder back in the logic of murder, that maybe the doctor just made a mistake in order to facilitate the plot. Having it turn out that the doctor was really in conspiracy about the murder was, I think, more believable. We turn now to listener comments and feedbacks. Miss Mouthy, and that's her handle over on iTunes, says, I listen to Sherlock Holmes stories every night as I go to sleep. I even use them in my class. I would pay for this app if I could. And thanks so much. And if anyone wants to contribute to the show, they can go to support.greatdetectives.net. Speaking of the show, we are running out of Sherlock Holmes programs. And we are going to do the version with John Gielgud and Ralph Richardson. And there was another series of Sherlock Holmes episodes, of which with Ben Wright as Sherlock Holmes, that aired during the 1949-50 season. There's one of those in circulation. So, grand total, we have 27 of this current series after this week, followed by one with Ben Wright and 16 with John Gielgud and Ralph Richardson. So 44 episodes left, which means that we'll need to replace the show before the end of next season. And we'll run a series of 4 mystery specials, 1 related to Sherlock Holmes and 3 related to each other. And I'll let you in on what those are when we actually get to that time. And then coming to Thursdays will be Nick Carter. So coming in about 48 weeks will be Nick Carter. And speaking of that, we turn to an email from Joshua who says, "Love the show, but when will you do Richard Diamond and Boston Blackie?" Thanks for the question, Joshua. And I can answer that we will do Boston Blackie as soon as we finish the Nick Carter series. We may put one small series, like 2 to 4 episodes, because we have a lot of those small series, but pretty much right after we finish with Nick Carter. As for Richard Diamond, it'll be after we finish Let George Do It, the Yours Truly Johnny Dollar serials, and Philip Marlowe. And so it's going to be a little while. I know we've got a lot of listener requests for a lot of shows that take a little bit of time to get through. And we'll definitely do everything we can to get to some of these as soon as possible. Once we add all the shows that we're going to be bringing to you season, we'll have 50-odd shows that we'll be doing sometime in the 2013-2014 season and beyond. And we look forward to being able to get to all of them. In the meantime, I hope that we're able to bring you some shows that will be new favorites. We just got a great email on Leonidas Witherall we'll read next Tuesday. I love to help people find new favorites even while we play, and patiently hope to soon to get to some of their old favorites. I've added actually another series to the list of those that we do want to eventually do called Police Blotter. Don't have any plans to do it during the upcoming season, but we'll keep an eye on it. And join us tomorrow for Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. And we'll also announce what the police procedural will be that will join our lineup in January. Well, I do want to thank those who've given to our listener support campaign. Among those, I want to say thank you to John, to William, and to James. Thanks so much for your support. And we will be sending access to our premium site as we do with all donations of $7 or more. In addition, we'll send a free digital copy of my ebook, All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo, and your choice of another gift. Most of these are digital, so that way we don't have to worry about shipping or even having to give out your address. The one exception to that is at the $50 or more level, we will send you an autographed copy of my paperback book, Tales of the Dim Night. And we have a complete list of all the other gifts, a lot of old-time radio shows, and a lot of newer programs. We have some American radio producers putting out Father Brown and Perry Mason. We also have some BBC recordings. So I encourage you to take a look at the full list of available items at support.greatdetectives.net. And email me what you would like. I would ask that folks email in their request as to the items they want by Saturday, September the 8th. That way we can close the book on the campaign for our bookkeeping purposes. Thanks so much again for your support. All right, well, now it's time for yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This one is called the Independent Diamond Traders Matter.
Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, the refreshing, delicious treat that gives you chewing enjoyment, presents for your listening enjoyment John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
Gary Carlson, Dollar.
Oh, hello, Mr. Carlson. What can I do for you?
If you're free, take an assignment.
Oh, I'm free.
Atlas Indemnity insures most of the independent diamond traders. You know, they're the little fellows who buy and sell on the sidewalks along New York's Diamond Row. Well, in the past 6 months, nearly 2/3 of them have canceled their insurance.
Somebody offering a less expensive policy?
No, they're suddenly going broke. Some of them after 20 and 30 years of trading.
And I'm to find out why?
Exactly. For a starter, you might see E.G. Moss. He's president of the Independent Diamond Traders Association.
I'll get right on it, Mr. Carlson.
The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum bring you John Lund in another adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Friends, the makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum present these weekly adventures of Johnny Dollar because they know that millions of you enjoy Johnny Dollar. That's true of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, too. It's enjoyed by millions, day in and day out. People find that chewing on a smooth, delicious piece of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum somehow makes time pass more pleasantly. Whether you're working, driving, shopping, or just taking things easy, that good, tasty chewing gives you enjoyment and satisfaction. So always keep a package of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy. And whenever you want a refreshing, delicious treat, chew a stick. You'll like it. You really will.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Atlas Indemnity Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Independent Diamond Traders matter. Expense account item 1, $21.30, train fare and incidentals between Hartford and New York City. At Grand Central, I phoned the Independent Diamond Traders Association and was told by the secretary that E.G. Moss could see me in half an hour. Outside, the city was being powdered clean and white by a late afternoon snowfall, so I indulged in the luxury of a stroll to the association's 47th Street headquarters. They were on the second floor of a converted brownstone. I was a few minutes early when I entered the dingy, deserted reception room. The secretary was absent from her desk, but the boss's door had been carelessly left ajar, just enough to allow some strictly extracurricular business to filter out.
Susan, I'm sick to death of the name. She runs your life, Edgar, like she runs this office.
But, dearest.
Why the traders ever elected you their president, I can't imagine. A man who can't even protect his own interests against the selfish snip of a stepdaughter.
That is enough, Mona.
Just as you say it. Goodbye.
Dearest, please, no, I didn't mean
Let
that.
me go.
Mona, I spoke in haste. Dearest.
Edgar.
Forgive me.
Edgar, my makeup.
Say you will forgive me.
Perhaps later.
Now.
Edgar, please. My hair, I'll look a wreck.
But I can't let you go like this. Anger between us.
Then meet me tonight as you promised.
All right. I'll meet you. I'll think of something to tell Susan.
I'm sure you will. Goodbye, Edgar.
No, not through the reception room.
Eavesdropping is a despicable habit, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, hello. I didn't hear you come in.
That is obvious.
That door was open when I walked in here.
And you might have made your presence known to Mr. Moss.
Well, I'll confess it occurred
I'll
to
tell
me.
my father, Mr. Moss, you're here.
Okay, have it your way.
Ah, Susan, you are back with my sandwiches and tea. Good, good. My stomach complains that it is past tea time, and I didn't know we had a visitor.
This is Mr. Dollar.
Mr. Dollar?
From the insurance company.
Atlas Indemnity.
He phoned me just before I went up for your tea, Father.
Oh, yes, of course. How do you do, Mr. Dollar?
Hello, Mr. Moss.
Forgive me, please, for being so addle-headed. So many things on my mind today.
Yeah, sure.
Come into my office, Mr. Dollar, please. Make yourself comfortable. That chair, I think you will find is relaxing.
Oh, thank you.
Cigar?
No, thanks.
Then perhaps tea. There is enough for both of us. And some of these small sandwiches, they're delicious.
No, thanks. You go ahead, though.
Of course, tea from a paper carton can hardly be compared with the delicate aroma of tea brewed in a china pot.
Mr. Moss, if you don't mind, I'd like to get directly to the reason for this call.
Oh, I am so sorry, Mr. Dollar. I'm rambling again, as Susan says. Susan is my stepdaughter, Mr. Dollar. A lovely girl, do you not agree?
Very lovely, Mr. Moss. And now if you...
She volunteers her services here at the association since we can no longer afford to pay a secretary.
I understand more than 2/3 of your membership have gone out of business.
Oh, yes. That is true. Friends and associates, men I have grown to respect and admire over the past 30 years. One by one selling what stones they have, leaving the street for who knows where.
Why, Mr. Moss?
Didn't your company give you the details, Mr. Dollar? I have had considerable correspondence with your Mr.
Eric Carlson.
Yes. He wrote me he was planning to send someone to assist the association. I thought surely he would have briefed you.
Well, Carlson gave me the basic situation, but he said that you'd fill me in.
Oh, yes, I see.
Now, tell me, in your opinion, what or who is forcing these small traders out of business?
Prices, of course. And suddenly a diamond worth $1,000 can be purchased for $800. The small trader is the first to get hurt.
Yeah, go on.
The members of our association have their modest capital invested in diamonds at long-established market prices, Mr. Dollar. As you know, the diamond market is rigidly controlled, and there was little or no fluctuation until recently.
And then?
From some source, diamonds were poured upon the market at far below the normal price.
Any idea where these cut-rate stones are coming from, Mr. Moss?
None. Obviously, if I did have, I would take action.
I see. Well, thanks, Mr. Moss. I won't take any more of your time.
What are you going to do, Mr. Dollar?
Oh, ask questions around the big trading houses. Try to find out who's selling the stones at bargain basement prices and how the seller is able to cut such a slice off the normal price.
The association would be very grateful, Mr. Dollar.
Goodbye, Mr. Moss.
Goodbye, sir, and thank you.
Yes?
Any chance of burying the hatchet, Miss Carla?
You seem to be very anxious to save face, Mr. Dollar.
Look, I said I was sorry. I was listening and you caught me cold. But considering the dialogue that was coming out of your father's office, wouldn't you have listened?
Well, I suppose Daddy is a little silly over that woman. And maybe I did leave his door ajar.
I accept your apology.
Hey, I didn't apologize. I said maybe I left his door ajar.
Now who's trying to save face?
I didn't apologize.
Shall we call it a draw?
You're very persuasive, Mr. Dollar.
Goodbye, Susan. It was after 6, and the larger merchants along Diamond Row were closed. For convenience, I checked into a small hotel around the corner from Moss's office, sent for my bag at the station, and went out to dinner. Expense account item 2, $3.05. Note, I don't want this to set a precedent in low dinner tabs. I just wasn't hungry. Well, the charm of the first snowfall had now palled on me, so I bought some papers and returned to the hotel.
Oh, yes, sir?
318, please.
380. Oh, Mr. Dollar. Oh, forgive me. I didn't recognize
That's all right.
you.
You've only seen me once before.
Oh, yes, of course, but that certainly is no excuse. It just seems that lately Oh, my. There I go again. There's a package for you.
A package?
Yes, I have it here. No, that's not it. Now, let me see. Oh, yes. Now, here it is. There you are, sir.
Oh, thank you. Were you on duty when this was delivered?
Mr. Dollar, with the exception of Wednesdays, I am on duty every day, from 8 in the morning until noon, and from 4 until midnight. And since this is Tuesday, obviously...
Now, about this package, who delivered it?
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Dollar, but I just can't... Oh, my. I just can't help it. Well, as a matter of fact, I must have dozed off. I found it on the desk about 10 minutes ago.
I see. May I have my key, please? 318. I went up to my room and opened the package. Inside was a card which bore the inscription Mona. And nestling in black velvet, a pair of diamonds. 10 carats each, if my amateur eye was any judge. Johnny Dollar.
This is Mona, Mr. Dollar.
Mona? Well, I don't quite know what to say.
You received the package, I gather.
Yeah, I received it.
Interested in the contents?
Oh, tremendously.
I thought you would be, considering your business with Edgar Moss this afternoon.
How do you know about that?
I'll explain when I see you.
Oh?
I can help you, Mr. Dollar.
How?
I happen to know who's flooding the market with cut-rate diamonds.
Who?
Suppose you meet me tonight at 8 at the Surf and Sand Club. Tell you then.
Hello? Hello? Mona. The Surf and Sand was a new night spot on the north shore of Long Island. I ran up expense account item 3, $6.50, including tip, to square things with a taximeter that had all the symptoms of a doped racehorse. The interior of the club was sleek and candlelit, with aquariums of tropical fish wherever you looked and very few customers to admire them. I decided to wait for my date at the bar.
Good evening, sir. What's your pleasure?
A lady named Mona, bartender. You know her?
I know several Monas, sir.
Well, lucky you.
Your Mona blonde, brunette, or so-so?
I couldn't say.
Blind date?
Mm-hmm. And she has a voice that's more than just a voice.
What lady named Mona hasn't?
A very astute observation. Now, maybe you'd construct me a nice bourbon and... Hey, suddenly the horizon brightens.
You mean that redhead standing in the foyer?
Very decorative.
No hobby for a man with a weak constitution.
You know her?
Oh, she comes in now and then.
Seems to be looking for someone. You know who?
I imagine you.
What?
Her name's Mona.
Oh, why didn't you say so sooner? Hello, Mona.
Hello.
I'm Johnny Dollar.
Yes, I know. I saw you at the bar.
Well, why didn't you come over? Or are you waiting for someone else?
Just you, Johnny. My car's outside. Let's drive somewhere.
Well, this is my first ride in a Mercedes. Sounds like there's a captive hurricane under the hood.
You like my little car, Johnny?
Tell me, is that speedometer scale optimistic, or can this car really do 120 miles an hour?
I don't know. Let's try it.
Oh, hey, never mind. I was only curious.
Well, I'm curious too, Johnny.
Have you lost your mind? Slow down.
Why? The highway's deserted. I like to drive fast.
Mona.
Oh, Johnny. Why did you switch off the ignition? Are you afraid?
You bet I'm afraid. Now promise to keep your heel off the accelerator, and I'll turn on the ignition.
All right. I'm sorry, Johnny. I acted on impulse. I like to act on impulse.
Was it impulse that prompted you to send me those diamonds tonight?
No.
Or what then?
I wanted to arouse your curiosity.
Why?
Because we hadn't met before.
Oh, talk sense, Mona.
Well, I just couldn't think of any other way to make certain you'd keep a blind date.
And you just happen to have a pair of 10-carat diamonds with RSVP carved on them.
I can afford it.
Well, a quick look at this car and that sable you're wearing, I'm inclined to believe you can.
I like expensive things.
Let's talk about cut-rate diamonds. You said on the phone you could help me. You know who's selling them?
I do. But Captain LeDrew will tell you.
Captain LeDrew.
That's where I'm taking you now, to meet him.
Why didn't he come to the club with you?
He didn't care to take the risk.
The risk?
Captain LeDrew is wanted by the police.
Friends, Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum is a refreshing, delicious treat you can enjoy just about any time. Even when you're busy working, you can slip a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint in your mouth and enjoy that pleasant chewing. The lively, full-bodied spearmint flavor cools your mouth and freshens your taste. The good, smooth chewing helps relieve pent-up tension, gives you satisfaction. As a result, you seem to feel more relaxed and get more enjoyment out of what you're doing. So enjoy chewing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum while you work and at other times, too. Get a few packages next time you're at the store. That's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. Now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
For the rest of the ride north on the Jones Beach Highway, Mona kept the Mercedes at a sane speed and the talks at trifles. When we finally stopped, it was before a ramshackle beach cottage.
He's inside.
What took you so long, Mona? I've been waiting an hour.
Johnny, Mr. Dollar doesn't like to drive fast, Captain LeDrew.
Oh, everything okay?
He was alone. No one followed us.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Sit down, Dollar. Pour him a drink, Mona.
I'll skip the drink.
Then sit down.
I should.
I'll come right to the point, Dollar. I'm sailing tonight, out of the country.
Bon voyage.
Don't waste my time with your attempted humor.
Up to now, my time has been wasted. Several hours of it. Now, let's get down to cases, Captain. Mona said you'd tell me who's dumping cut-rate diamonds.
I am, Dollar.
Oh.
I smuggled them into the country. That's my business.
Racket, you mean?
Johnny, be smart. Just listen.
Like I said, smuggling is my business. Diamonds. I don't pay taxes. I don't pay custom duty.
And you can undersell the legitimate dealers and still show a whopping profit, huh?
This is my last trip to the States. The market's oversupplied, but I have one final contract to fulfill.
How does all this concern me?
You're going to make the delivery for me, Dollar. Tonight.
Me?
You've already been paid. More than you scratch out of 100 insurance cases.
Oh, the 2 sparklers Mona sent.
I sent.
The card was my contribution, Johnny.
It made all the difference, Mona.
That's enough, Dollar.
I was only expressing my appreciation, Captain.
Johnny, shut up. Will you?
I'm losing my patience, Dollar.
Likewise, LeDrew. Here are the diamonds you sent me. Get another boy.
Sit down.
I figured you for a gun, LeDrew. You're the type.
Then you're smart enough to know I'll use it.
Tell me, why pick on me to make your delivery? The customs officials onto you?
They've got my customer staked out. Cops all over the place.
And so you two don't dare show your faces, huh?
We prefer not to take the risk, Johnny.
But the delivery must be made, Dollar. It's the biggest lot of stones yet.
And suppose I refuse?
Don't talk like a little tin hero, Dollar. You don't want me to kill you.
Well, what's the difference whether I get killed here or by the customs men while I'm trying to slip through their stakeout? No, you just haven't convinced me, LeDrew.
Get on your feet, Dollar.
Why?
Because I'm going to convince you.
As I got to my feet, I expected LeDrew to start convincing me with the butt of his revolver. But I guessed wrong. He motioned me out the back way and onto a small boat dock. Mona followed. At the end of the dock was a low-slung cabin cruiser. We went below and into a plush carved mahogany lounge. Very fancy, Captain.
Takes me where I want to go. Bought it from an oil man. He was tired of it. Sit down now.
Thank you.
Mona, bring him in.
All right, darling. You can come out now.
Moss.
Mr. Dollar. Oh, thank heavens you are here.
I'm afraid Mr. Moss is a little unnerved just now, Johnny, and rather disillusioned in me. Huh, Edgar?
Mr. Dollar, for heaven's sake, help me. Do whatever they ask.
I think he'll help you, Mr. Moss. What do you say now, Dollar?
Suppose I still say no.
Johnny, you don't want to have Mr. Moss's death on your conscience, do you?
Oh, it's like that, huh?
I've a lot at stake, Dollar. I'll do what I have to.
Let's leave them alone, Captain, to talk it over.
Okay.
Johnny,
Yeah?
be smart. Don't try any heroics.
I'm touched by your concern, Mona.
Mona?
I'm coming.
All right, Moss, let's have it. How did you ever get into the jam?
Mona. She led me on. I was foolish enough to believe that she...
Oh, never mind. I can guess the rest.
Mr. Dollar, you have got to do what they ask. You can't let them kill me. You can't.
Get hold of yourself, Moss.
But you must do what they say. They mean to kill me if you refuse, and you too. They will kill you too.
Take it easy.
Do you think there is a chance to escape?
The name is Dollar, not Houdini. There's only one exit onto the dock, and it's being covered by a 38.
Oh, then you must do what they ask, Mr. Dollar.
Use your head. There's not a chance in a million that I can get past those customs men.
Yes, there is. They have a plan.
What?
I heard them talking about how you could make the delivery.
Yeah, how?
Everything settled, Dollar?
No, nothing's settled. Do you think I'd go for a deal like that?
You came here tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I suppose my sanity can be questioned on that score.
Don't rub it in, Captain. Johnny was curious.
Well, who wouldn't be? Diamonds left at my hotel. A blind date with a voice that would melt a marble saint.
Ah.
Always was a sucker for a mystery.
And a chase, Johnny.
You decided to cooperate, Dollar?
Yes, he has.
Don't rush me, Mr. Moss. First, I'll have to hear more about that plan you overheard. If there's a chance, well, under the circumstances, maybe I'll try to make the delivery.
Now you're being smart.
Let's hear your plan.
It's very simple. You phone my client. Tell him who you are and why the insurance company sent you to New York.
Yeah, and?
You insist on seeing him tonight.
You say you're interviewing all the big diamond merchants, Johnny, to get their opinions on why the market has fallen so suddenly.
Why don't I just tell your customer the real reason I want to see him?
Now you're being wise again, Dollar.
Johnny, you know the customs officials will have our client's phone tapped. They'll be listening to every word.
And you figure they'll make a quick check with Atlas Indemnity. When they learn I was sent down here on legitimate business, they'll let me into your client's place unmolested.
That's a Dollar.
Well, I've got to admit it sounds plausible enough.
It will work. They won't bother a guy with your reputation.
That's why we've had you shadowed since you left your apartment in Hartford.
I'm overwhelmed by the honor.
Of course, you happened to enter the case at exactly the right moment.
Oh, now you've spoiled it, Mona.
Here's the envelope I want you to deliver, Dollar. You'll bring back another envelope.
Suppose I bring back the police.
From topside, I can see the highway for a mile in both directions. I'll put to sea the second I spot anything that remotely resembles a cop.
Mr. Moss will sail with us, of course.
Mr. Dollar, please don't involve the police, please.
Relax, Moss, relax. Okay, LeDrew. You've got yourself a patsy. But what guarantee do I have that Moss and I will be freed when I get back from this job?
Why, Johnny, you have the captain's word, of course.
Lucky me. Mona drove me to the nearest gas station where I phoned LeDrew's client. The voice on the other end of the wire was irritated and uncooperative, but I insisted and finally got an okay for a personal interview. Next, I phoned for a cab, and 20 minutes later was dropped at the gate of a swank Plandome estate. I paid off the cabbie, expense account item 4, $3.50, and went inside. No one stopped me, and I made the delivery without a hitch. LeDroux's client gave me the money, and I ran up expense account item 5, $3.80, cab fare back to the beach cottage. On the dock, I found that LeDroux was indeed prepared to put to sea at the slightest sign of a double cross. The cruiser was straining on a short bow line, pulled away from the pier by the tide, the engines throbbing.
That's far enough, Dollar. Freeze.
Hey, take that light out of my eyes.
Keep the flashlight in his face, Moore. You're covered, Dollar. Keep your hands in sight.
I didn't bring a gun, if that's what you're looking for.
Smart of you. Where's the money?
Under a dozen yards of adhesive. I'm papered with it from my waist to my neck.
What's the idea?
Your client felt there was still danger of my being stopped and searched.
All right, get aboard.
I'd rather be unwrapped in the cottage.
Get aboard.
Easy on the spine with a gun, will you?
Move. Jump aboard, Dollar.
Are you kidding? Even if I weren't taped up, I doubt if I could make that jump.
I'll give you a hand on that line.
LeDroux made his last mistake. As he bent over to pull in the bow line, I released the line from the mooring bit, pushed him into the water, and jumped for the boat at the same time. He snapped a shot at me on his way down, but I was well aboard by then. Mona, the picture of frustration, went charging up and down the dock, looking for something with which to retrieve her floundering partner, and yelling incantations at me in a voice far from sultry. I went into the wheelhouse, set the wheel to drip for what I judged to be the center of the bay, and was turning for the door when...
Relax, Mr. Dollar.
Moss.
Don't move or I'll shoot.
What is this?
A surprise twist, I think it is called. You see, LeDroux, Mona, and I are associates.
And I'm a prize sap.
Oh, don't be too hard on yourself, Mr. Dollar. I thought I was very convincing as the deceived suitor, the frightened hostage.
You fooled me, Moss.
The deception was necessary to enlist your cooperation. We knew you could never be hired to make that delivery, Mr. Dollar, your professional ethics being what they are.
So you staged that little lover spat I overheard in your office this afternoon, huh?
Mona thought it would quicken your interest, make my supposed betrayal more plausible.
What about your stepdaughter? She mixed up in this business, too?
Susan knows nothing about any of this. Keep away, Dollar.
You better make the first shot count, Moss. Your reflexes are a little slow, Moss. I used the ship's radio telephone to contact the police. In that Mercedes, Mona and LeDroux weren't hard to find. The rest you've already read in the papers, Mr. Carlson. Moss, LeDroux, and Mona will be out of circulation for a long time. Expense account item 6, $26.05. Train fare and incidentals back to Hartford. Expense account total, $64.20. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Remember, friends, Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum is a refreshing, delicious treat you can enjoy just about any time. Chew a few sticks of Wrigley's Spearmint during the day and see how the good chewing helps keep you feeling fresh and alert. The lively, full-bodied flavor of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum cools your mouth, freshens your taste, and sweetens your breath. The chewing itself gives you a nice little boost, helps you keep going at your best. Millions of people get real chewing enjoyment out of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum every day, and we know that you'll enjoy it, too. Get a few packages and always keep some handy. That's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. Yours Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, brought to you by Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, stars John Lund in the title role and was written by Don Sanford with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Featured in tonight's cast were Howard McNear, Parley Bear, Jeanette Nolan, Virginia Gregg, Dick Ryan, and John McIntyre. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum hope you enjoyed tonight's story of Johnny Dollar and that you're enjoying delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum every day. This is Charles Lyon, inviting you to join us again next week at this same time when, from Hollywood, John Lund returns as...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
Welcome back. Well, Johnny Dollar goes after the guy with the gun, and and it turned out to be a reasonable risk, and it's something that I sometimes wonder why authors don't do more. Now, certainly, even some folks who are amateurs, they have a gun, and it's dangerous to mess with them, probably most folks. But if you're writing fiction and you want to show the characters tough, that's kind of a way to illustrate it. Of course, you haven't doing it too much, and you move kind of from the tough area to the stupid or to the cartoonish. But not in the case of Johnny Dollar. And today's episode really was a reminder. I know how much folks are just eagerly waiting when we get to the Bob Bailey Johnny Dollar episodes in just a few months now. But John Lund really did put on a performance that was nothing to sneeze at. And I've been impressed that he certainly was not one of the one of these actors who is, one of the more memorable radio actors of all time. But he was definitely a total pro and just brought a lot of energy and excitement to the way he played Johnny Dollar. So I think these episodes vastly underrated. All right, well, speaking of episodes coming here, one thing I mentioned on Monday is the way we're going to do this with the Johnny Dollar series is that we'll have Monday and Wednesday 2 episodes each, and the wrap-up on Friday. Well, that does kind of beg a question. Are we just going to have a 15-minute show on Friday? That was actually something I thought about for a year or so. I decided against it just because I know folks, are driving to work and they kind of expect, I might be a little long-winded. The episode might be an Armed Forces Radio Services program, so it's missing the commercials or it's cut. But I think folks expect it to be about that length, certainly not just 15 minutes. So we will honor that expectation, and what we'll do on most Fridays is we will play a 15-minute mystery program. Mostly, there are 3 shows we're going to look at as kind of regular recurring features, and we will play first. We have 1 episode of Policewoman. That seemed like a really good series, and it's a shame there's only 1 episode, but we'll play that one. And then we will play Dr. Tim Detective. And then intermittently, we're going to go back and forth between playing Manhunt, and there's a series of Australian mysteries called the Carter Brown Mysteries. Each is a 4-part story arc with a different story. I should say a different character. We'll play some of those, and then we'll also play Manhunt. There will be some Fridays where we won't have an episode. There are 6 Fridays in this next 58-week period where We'll have 2 Johnny Dollars on Fridays and something else on Wednesday. But those are the shows that are coming: Policewoman, Dr. Tim, Detective, and Manhunt. And now for that 6th show. You know, I've mentioned doing a police procedural. One thing I want to do here is I want to do a police procedural you all are going to like. And if you like detective shows, I think you will enjoy the lineup. It is just a wonderful show. It was kind of CBS's answer to Dragnet. I think you will enjoy that. And we're going to start that up on January 5th of 2013. And that will be the lineup coming to Saturdays. And the lineup should get us most of the way through 2013 and certainly through the rest of the 2012-2013 season. Now it's time for listener comments and feedback. William, who we recognize for contributing, said, "Adam, I haven't contributed in a while. I wanted to let you know that I continue to listen to each episode and appreciate all you do. Have you?" And he then asked about Boston Blackie and Richard Nauman, which was like the second person in the last week. We answered that yesterday. It says, "Best wishes and keep up the great work." Then we also have a comment from Lori regarding episode 725, the Gino Gambona matter. "Hi, Adam. I think it's possible that Jay Novello was the voice of Gino Gambona in this episode. He was a master of authentic sounding dialects in OTR. He played the part of Lieutenant Sam Sabai in Rocky Fortune, among many others." Well, I could, as I listened to it, I didn't really think so. And I love him in Rocky Fortune as well. And I could be wrong, but to me it just didn't have the quality of his voice. It sounded closer to Alan Reed, but I could be wrong. Unless somebody's got a script, it'll probably be a matter for debate. But thanks for the comment. And Laura says, not only some of the best radio shows available, but a wonderfully enthusiastic and superbly well-informed host. Well, thank you kindly for that comment. And then we have one final comment from the app. Thanks for the quick update. Not only do I love this app for bedtime listening, but I feel good about purchasing apps created by people who read reviews and make sure all is well. Rare these days. Well worth the purchase. I was born well after the radio mystery, but I'm in love with all these shows. And there are so many that actually have a schedule. Download option is great, and I will be utilizing it when I fly to London next month. Thank you for a wonderful app. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, and I'm glad that they got version 1.18.1 out, because there were some issues with version 1.8.18. And on the software side, when it's something not opening, there's not a whole lot we can do. So I'm just glad that listeners are able to enjoy the show and enjoy all the extras we're putting out there. All right, well, that will do it for today. We will be back on Monday with the adventures of Frank Race, and join us back here on Friday for yours truly, Johnny Dollar. In the meanwhile, send your comments to box13 at greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter, Radio Detectives, and call us 208-991-4783. But from Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.